Sheriff's Office reported that people in our community are being scammed by a caller saying that a loved one has been kidnapped or is in jail. The caller has been requesting payment via gift cards. If anyone receives a call like this, they're asked to notify local authorities before taking any other action. And the 4th Annual Animal Film Festival is being held today in Santa Cruz. Some of the films being featured include Called to Rescue, Maybelle's Story, and Hope, the Blind Goat. The festival is scheduled to take place from 7 to 9 p.m. this evening at the Del Mar Theater, which is located at 1124 Pacific Avenue in Santa Cruz. For more information, people can go online to www.animalfilmfestival.org. Time now, nearly 14 minutes after 4 p.m. More local news for you coming up at the bottom of the hour. For KSCO, I'm Susan Simon.
Hello, my name is Marie Urosco from Birthright of San Jose, and we'd like to invite you to the South Bay Musical Theater performance of My Fair Lady on Thursday, May 25 at the Saratoga Civic Center, a benefit for Birthright of San Jose, a pregnancy support group celebrating 45 years of free services to women facing pregnancies alone. The $45 ticket includes food and drink, raffle baskets, and exciting auction items, including dinner for two at Ella's at the airport. For tickets, go to birthright.support.
Hi, folks. It's Jim Peterson of Solar for America by Peterson Dean. And how many ads do you hear out there right now on solar companies? Discounting, discounting, discounting. What does American style mean? Look, the guys out there heavily discounting do not sell you panels made in America. They're made in Mexico and Malaysia. That's a fact. How do you start a relationship with a solar company that lies to you right off the bat? Then they want to have a 20-year relationship with you when they've lied and cheated on you from the word say go? I'll never do that to you at Solar for America. It's always American made by Americans 100% of the time. Roof, solar, backup battery, and home fencing. We don't discount the heck out of our products because we want to be here for you when you need us down the road. I've been doing nothing but roofing and solar since I was 16 years old. This is all I know. I don't lie to you. I'll always build you the best American-made roof, solar, backup battery, or fence money can buy. Give me a call today at 888-389-1249. 888-389-1249. Again, Solar for America, 888-389-1249. CSLB 468-117.
The Cannabis Connection is the educational outlet for all to engage with policy, science, culture, and local developments in order to orient the community in the rapidly evolving cannabis renaissance. Our goal is to open a dialogue surrounding the potential that this plant provides to heal people's ailments, but also heal our society from a social and economic standpoint. Tune in to The Cannabis Connection, Friday nights, 8 to 9 p.m. on KSCO AM 1080.
From Capitola to Carmel, Red Hot News Talk, AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz.
You're listening to Flight 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz. It's 4:17. Billy Sunshine just stepping into the studio. Ben Picard is here. He's getting mic'd up. We're ready for your calls at 479-1080. Your text messages are welcome as well. 218-5726. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Flight 1080. I'm going to start checking out our Facebook page, see what we're going to talk about here. Facebook.com/Flight1080. Billy, go ahead and get a mic there. There you go. Can we get a mic check, Billy?
Billy Sunshine is in the house.
Ben, can I get a mic check over there on your side?
Hello, hello.
All right.
Ben is in the house.
There we go.
Is that better?
Gotta be at least as hip as me.
Don't say it that way. 479-1080, dm@ksco.com. Okay, let's see. Boy, how do we start? How do we start this show?
You have many choices.
We cover headlines. We cover local headlines and all kinds of stuff. Sometimes
I know
some
how
of the
to
headlines
start
are
it.
not so good. Yes.
Flight 1080 is in his house.
Oh, no, dude.
That's even hipper, Billy.
I know, that's too hip, actually.
Do we need to tone it down
You
a bit?
just went right by me.
Don't do that anymore, you guys. Don't do that anymore.
In the hizzy.
I'm so hip, I'm like the upper waist.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was really bad.
Yeah.
And he's so
Yeah.
young, and you'd think he'd be, I don't
Practicing
know,
my
with
dad
it.
jokes already.
Yeah.
Santa Cruz cyclists are highly prone to wrecks, according to a new report. This is from the Department of Transportation. Santa Cruz was the first in comparable-sized counties for traffic collisions involving cyclists.
And I was just getting ready to get a bike, too.
I was going to say, aren't you about to start biking, Billy?
Yeah, it makes me a little nervous.
Really? Let's see. Wrecks with cyclists represented 36% of Santa Cruz's roughly 1,500 traffic accidents.
Wow, a third. That's amazing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now, by cyclists, they mean bicycles and motorcycles. Let me just be clear
Really?
about that. I believe so.
Cyclists?
Yes, includes anyone on a two-wheel vehicle. And Susan
Susan, is that right, Susan?
says I'm right.
I believe that is usually the standard.
That's
Can I
right.
swear to that? No. Would I swear it? You?
Then-
No. I
Well, we
wouldn't swear
have
it.
a
Well,
computer. We
if
can
I
find it.
We're on
said it.
radio,
If
too,
I
so
said it-
no
Our
swearing
listeners-
of any kind.
It's
Our
true,
listeners will know.
because I said it.
The report, which was recently
There is that.
reviewed
There is
by
that.
Santa Cruz City Council, pointed to unsafe speed as a top cause of wrecks. Right-of-way violations and improper turning were next on the most common cause of wrecks.
Is that high speeds, improper turning, and improper communication or signaling from the bikes or from the cars?
Can't tell from the way you read it.
Yeah, you can't tell from the way it's written, Billy.
Ooh.
I just read it the way it was written.
Is that the kind of day it's going to be?
Well, it is now, Billy.
Yeah, Billy, you just screwed it all up.
Oh, man.
The most prevalent areas with wrecks that did not happen at intersections. So this is the place with wrecks not at an intersection, because intersections, I guess, are the most popular places. Include 5 wrecks at Water Street from Ocean to River, and 5 wrecks at West Cliff Drive from Beach to Bay Street. Those are the most dangerous areas to drive. Those are the, given by the number of accidents.
See, Capitola, nothing.
And see, in 2014, Santa Cruz was the first among more than 100 California cities of similar population for wrecks or injury, for wrecks
Really?
with injury or death involving bicycles.
we were number
See,
one?
Bicycles, Billy. Bicycles.
We were number 1?
Yeah, we're number 1.
Wait, this is not a good thing to be
Yeah,
number one.
that is not a good thing.
And see,
So-
the traffic safety report also showed a reduction of 34 alcohol. That's different. In 2016, the city had 100 wrecks involving cyclists and 33 wrecks involving pedestrians.
Now, I thought that here in Santa Cruz, we did a lot to improve bicycle safety or bicyclist safety. I mean, isn't it a new law here in Santa Cruz? You're supposed to give them 5 feet on the shoulder when you're going around bicyclists.
I think you're supposed to give them 3 feet.
3 feet?
Yeah,
Oh.
from the outside handlebar.
I just swerve into the oncoming lane, just to be safe.
That's what you're not supposed to do. You're not
That isn't
supposed to do
safer?
that. No. Well, maybe safer for the bicyclist, but not as far as traffic goes.
You got to do whatever you got to do is the point.
479-1080. So are you going to buy your bike now, Billy?
Probably, because I got to.
You can just go ride it in
I
the
have
park.
to do something to get exercise.
Really?
And I don't like walking at all.
Really?
I don't have a natural gait.
So what is the solution? Do we need to buy or build bigger bike lanes or something like that?
You need to build safer bicycles, Ben.
You need to build better cars.
That's one thing that I've seen is, have you ever seen, it's like a helmet that has basically a airbag that comes out?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen, it's
Yeah,
like
I saw
a
that on
giant,
the internet. Yeah.
it's like a giant bubble that sort of
Was
engulfs
it real?
you. And,
I wasn't sure if it was real.
well, there's
Dude,
prototypes. I don't know if
that seems like it would be so dangerous. Doesn't that seem like it would snap your neck if you fell down on the ground and now your neck's at this angle, it's going to hit at this angle? Doesn't
Well,
that
yeah,
seem like it'd be
basically
more
the
dangerous?
idea is that it senses that there's a collision, and then it shoots out this sort of cocoon that
just a little
surrounds
bubble.
you and tries to protect
Yeah.
you from
A
harm.
little bubble.
I don't know how safe it would be. But yeah, I mean, there are those type of cyclist safety
Probably
options.
blow
out
your
there.
head off. I mean, if there's that much
But
pressure.
the self-driving
Right, just
cars,
pop.
when we get them, will be in a lot less accidents, and that means it's going to be a lot safer to be a bike rider.
That's an interesting question. Do you think the self-driving cars will be able to deal with bikes as well as they
Absolutely.
can deal
Absolutely.
with other automobiles?
Absolutely, and the point is that you have to make a choice, and that's the thing. It's like, well, let's see, what if I only have two choices? I can hit that car, or I can hit that bicyclist.
Oh, why do we always have to
What
go
are they
here?
programmed to do, I wonder?
They will hit the car, I'm sure.
Well, however they're programmed, I don't know.
I don't know.
It makes
I don't
more
know. I'm
sense
just-
programmed to
because the
stop
car
it.
has metal in front of it to protect it. But on the other hand, it's like, are you more interested in self-protection or in protection of others' lives? Because as a car, I'd rather hit a bicyclist because it's not going to hurt me that much. Whereas as a car, I'd hit another car that would hurt me a lot.
What? I don't think that cars thinks like in those terms.
Well, let's
I
make
don't- I
sure
don't
they're not. That's the point. We must make sure they don't start.
All right, we'll make sure that cars don't
I
think
think
like
you would have
Billy
to program
Sunshine.
it into them for them to think
exactly.
like that.
But eventually they're going to think on their own. That's the point. That's this whole AI thing that's going to become, some point they will actually get their own ideas that we didn't give them. And oh, hell. My gosh, that's going to be some fun.
The point I was making about the bicyclists and the automated cars, though, is I'm assuming that part of the reason why automated cars are going to be safe is because they're going to be dealing with other automated cars on the road. They're sort of all communicating with
Yes,
each other. They
yes.
all know where they are.
Yes.
Are we going to have like automated bikes in the future
No,
that are
no,
then
no.
communicating with the
No,
cars?
no, it's enough that your car has enough radar to just see that there's something there. Mm-hmm. That's it. The bikes themselves don't have to directly communicate with you. You've got bounce back sonar like.
That's going to be an
You're like a
interesting
bat,
problem for whoever is dealing with or is designing these automated cars is sensors that can detect bicyclists. 'Cause,
Exactly.
I mean,
and people and,
how could you tell
baby
cats?
carriages and dogs, small things, things that are low. Yeah.
how's a car supposed to tell a bicyclist from like a bush or a street sign or something
You'd be
like
surprised, but it's possible. Yeah.
I guess it is possible.
Yeah.
Did you see that big landslide that took out Highway
Wow.
1?
Yeah,
that?
very
Who
impressive.
didn't see that?
Yeah.
1 million tons. You can
Right.
see a aerial footage
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that landslide on our Facebook page.
So this was south of the bridge that collapsed, right?
Yes.
And now there is a big section of Big Sur which is accessible only by helicopter.
Yeah.
You can't get there by car one way or the other.
No, but that's okay because the rich people are getting there.
Yes, man, they're getting there by helicopter rides.
Also, I think the fact that this was almost the exact same conditions that they were dealing with this winter, a lot of this, system of helicopters has already been set up.
Exactly.
but now they're getting it from the other end, right? So the
Well-
road is closed from that side, but it's also closed on this side.
Yeah, well, over the winter there was also mudslides on the southern end.
Where the
Well-
new slide is, one of the slides over the wintertime was there. They were still trying to clear it out when when 4 more slides came down on Saturday.
Yeah,
so there's this really nice high-end property called the Post Ranch Inn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
And
read about
these
It's
that.
in
people-
between the two closures.
Yeah, and so this place goes for,
Bucks.
like $750
bucks.
a night for the
I think
cheapest
it's more
place.
than that now.
The cheapest room.
I think it's more than that
Yeah,
now.
well, it depends on the season and
Yeah.
if you know how to purchase. So those people do literally come in with helicopters. They just have more money than
So-
these are the people who've been robbing us all our lives.
There's a package being offered right now, a 2 to 4 night stay, meals and yoga, between $4,300 and $13,500. They could fly you in for a 2 or 4 day trip.
For
You've got yoga
meal
is
and
that
meals.
Post Ranch?
That's what?
Is that Post
Yeah,
Ranch
it's
or is
Post
that
Ranch, yeah.
Esalen?
I didn't want to mention it because I don't want to give them
I'm
a free
pretty sure
commercial,
you
but
can get a
yes.
meal and yoga for $20 right here in Santa Cruz.
The
Well,
slide,
Esalen is doing something similar too.
yeah, they have something going on because they're partying like as if it was an island, so they're having luau parties and all kinds of stuff.
I hope it's not like
this
the
weekend.
Fire Festival Island.
The slide
Nobody
measures
paid ahead.
1,500 feet long, it's 30 to 45 feet deep. It will require a prolonged dig out.
45 feet
yeah.
deep. That's a
The
lot.
stat about that just blows my mind is 1 million tons.
Tons, not 1 million pounds, 1 million tons.
1 million
So that's 1
tons.
million times 2,000.
Right. The new landslide is deep seated.
Hi, Bill.
Did anybody wonder how
That's
that
big.
landslide happened when it hasn't been raining?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It was caused by saturated soil over prolonged above average rainfall, which we all witnessed here, right? This all happened not too long ago.
So a
Hey,
bunch of
Dave?
mud.
It's 4 separate slides that all let go at the same time.
Yeah, it's 4 to 5 slides right here. I haven't
Yeah.
gotten to that part. But yeah, there's 4 to 5 slides that all gave way. That's the part I was getting to right here.
Channel 2 estimated last night it will take at least a year to clear.
Holy mackerel.
Well, a million tons of debris.
Yes, Susan?
And that doesn't mean that the road is still there underneath it, because the road
Yeah.
already had issues. That's why they were working there.
Oh.
Wow.
Such landslides typically occur toward the end of the winter season in March and April and May because of the time it takes for seasonal rainfall to reach the bottom, a slippery layer of soil.
That settles it.
So all that stuff
That
is just
settles
trickling down, and by this time of the year, that's when it all goes right down the drain.
Dave, we have to have flying cars.
We do?
Well, how
It doesn't
else are
say
you going
that
to
in
get
here.
around? It doesn't say that. Of course not. I'm way ahead of these things. But the flying cars will be able to get there. In other words, you're on the road, and then the road disappears. Then you fly where you need to go.
Locals
Yeah,
are also...
They have flying cars now. There are being marketed flying cars now.
You know what? There's actually flying cars that I think are being researched and developed right down there in Hollister, is it? Or Gilroy?
I don't
Hollister.
know. Yeah.
Hollister,
yeah.
yeah. Down at the airport there's a company that is developing flying cars.
Yeah, there's a number of places around the world now that are doing that.
I think another reason why flying cars would be good is everyone is constantly complaining about how much it costs to maintain roads. Once there's flying cars, you don't have.
Speaking of roads, locals are taking Nacimiento-Ferguson Road as a cut over to Highway 101, a slow and dangerous route with many white-knuckle switchbacks and sheer cliffs. Now, you know...
That's good riding.
It is good riding. If you go for... I love to go for rides along the back roads out here, and after the storms, there was a lot of roads around here that looked just incredibly dangerous. I mean, you're driving up there, and it is just... Your white knuckle is a good description, because you're just hanging on that... like a death grip onto that steering wheel. One of them was up Eureka Canyon, boy. You get up there far enough, and man, dude, you want to cry. I mean, it is just so scary. And I'm
Wasn't
wondering,
that like the unpaved road that you were saying, hey, you know, if you want to get over the hill, you could try
dude,
this?
that road, forget it, man. That road is crazy. And,
I was
what's
on,
the
I was on a
craziest
road like that once.
Around
on the
here?
island? No,
Around
on
here?
the island of St. Lucia.
Uh-huh.
And it was starting to be night, and I mean, it looked like you were going to fall off the road. And then, all of a sudden, we see a water spout coming towards us.
Holy cow.
My wife said, you have to
it, a
stop at the
whale?
next hotel, whether it's the run we're looking for or not.
4791080. I was wondering if there's any roads like that around here. What the scariest road that you've been on around here locally?
Boy, you ever seen like those
I wanna go down
roads in South America that are just like cut into the cliff face?
Yes.
Where it's like a one-lane road. Oh my goodness.
Dude, when I went to Jamaica earlier last year, they have some of the craziest roads and some of the craziest drivers, man. I swear, they got a whole busload full of tourists, and they just, I mean, head on, just driving, playing chicken with the next guy down the road. You're going like, holy cow. And you just act cool because you don't want to seem like, you know, like a tourist. So you just play cool and hope to God that you don't.
I don't like
Crash.
Jamaica. I love it.
Oh, you can have it. 4791080.
CBS News Update. The Congressional Budget Office is out with its assessment of the revised Republican health care plan that's passed in the House. It shows about 51 million people would have no coverage by 2026. It's about 23 million more than under Obamacare. Republican Senator James Lankford.
What the House put out was their first proposal. CBO's now scored it. Comes to the Senate. We literally have not taken up this bill until we got a CBO score from the House. That gives us an opportunity for someone to be able to look at it with a second opinion.
Democrat Chuck Schumer reaffirming his opposition.
If you're an older American, Trump care is going to force you to pinch your pennies just to be able to afford health care at all. The CBO report says that seniors could see their premiums go up by as much as 800%.
Washington Post reporter Ed O'Keefe.
Some are going to be happy with the amount of money it saves, but there are going to be other Republicans who are very concerned about that high number of Americans who would once again potentially be out of health insurance because of this rewrite.
CBS News Update. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
You're listening to AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz. The time is now 4:32. Headlines are up next. Here's Susan Simon.
Thanks, Dave. A plan that would keep the Salinas homeless shelter open for at least 5 more months only needs 2 more groups to okay it. Salinas city leaders and the board of directors for the Franciscan Workers of Junipero need to approve an agreement that Monterey County supervisors unanimously okayed yesterday. If approved, expanded services would begin May 30th and run through October 30th of this year. The 12-year-old King City girl who posted a recent threat that she was going to shoot down the school on Instagram won't face charges. The King City police chief said the girl will probably serve probation but not be incarcerated because she realized what a bad mistake it was and took the post down almost immediately. And also, she was remorseful. Jurors in Santa Cruz County Superior Court found a man guilty of shooting and killing another man. 31-year-old Damian Baxter was convicted yesterday of killing 33-year-old Jesus Rocha at an apartment complex on Palm Avenue in Santa Cruz back in 2015. Baxter is scheduled to be sentenced July 26th and could face up to 11 years in prison. The City of Santa Cruz's second annual State of the City meeting was held last night. City leaders discussed several key issues, including homelessness, housing, the city's budget deficit, and aging infrastructure. City leaders will be hosting small neighborhood meetings throughout the year, as well as increasing their presence on social media in an effort to connect with the public and receive input on community issues. Time now coming up at 34 minutes after 4 p.m. More local news for you coming up at the top of the hour. For KSCO, I'm Susan Simon.
Thank you, Susan. KSEO drive time is now 4:34. Let's see what's happening out there on your roadways. We start off on Highway 1. Speed still under the limit, 10 miles per hour approximately as you make your way off of Highway 17 all the way into Aptos. About 10 miles per hour will be your average speed. Monterey into Seaside, 20 miles per hour northbound Highway 1. Stop and go traffic southbound 101 over Coyote Creek. Be on the lookout there. Your weather forecast for tonight: patchy drizzle, patchy fog, cloudy conditions. Lows should be around 53 degrees. Tomorrow should be mostly cloudy with highs in the lower to mid 60s. Small craft advisory out on the Monterey Bay tomorrow morning through tomorrow evening. West winds tonight, 5 to 15 knots. Wind waves 1 to 3 feet. And west swells 3 to 5 feet at 11 seconds. The time is now 4:34. Flight 1080 will be right back.
Hi, registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs here. I've been studying healthy bodies for 35 years. And what I've got to tell you may shock and surprise you, but if you listen up, it may change your life. If you're one of the hundreds of millions of Americans who's gotten a prescription this year, you probably noticed that the text was illegible, and not because of the doctor's calligraphy. Even typewritten scripts are impossible to understand. That's because they're written in Latin. Does your doctor or your pharmacist speak Latin? Probably not. So what could possibly be the purpose of writing instructions and details of something as important, potent, and possibly dangerous in an ancient language that is not only arcane and incomprehensible, but hasn't even been spoken commonly in 2,000 years? A prescription is a critical component of the therapeutic process, as well as the physician-patient relationship, and its potential to help or harm makes it one of the most significant of all written communications. At the end of the day, each step of the medical process is supposed to benefit the patient. Pharmaceuticals are powerful chemicals, and their correct use is of the utmost importance. Because most physicians aren't going to be writing scripts in clear, concise English anytime soon, your best bet when you get one from your doctor is to ask him to go over the drug dosage and directions with you, making sure the handwriting is legible. And when you pick up your medication from your pharmacy, look carefully at the bottle to confirm that the information on the label matches up with what you were prescribed. Open the bottle and check your meds for accuracy, and always make sure you understand the directions and possible side effects.
Pharmacist Ben here, urging you to go to kscohealth.com to order Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Healthy Start Pack, and other nutritional supplements that I personally use and recommend. You can purchase these premium quality products at wholesale prices online at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com. I'm the pharmacist that believes that staying healthy and strong is not only about medicine, it's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to do its work. Go to kscohealth.com. Make sure you check out the cool videos too at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com.
From San Jose to Salinas, Red Hot News Talk, AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz.
479-1080. You're listening to Flight 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz. It's 4:38. We are about to get out to the phone lines. 479-1080. If you wish to get in, 218-5726 with your text messages. Be sure to send us an email, dm@ksco.com, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. All right, let's head out to the phone lines. On line 1 is Captain Anonymous.
El Capitan.
El Capitan, you're in the air.
Hello, Billy. Hello, Ben.
Hey.
Hello, Captain.
How are you doing, sir?
Everything is good. It's a very pleasant flight. But I would like to advise that when we do land, that anyone who's considering going down that Ferguson Highway, that road cut over to Highway 1,
sounds exciting.
Unless it is an absolute emergency, don't even think about it if that's your first time.
Well, I'm not scared of roads, Captain.
Well,
I'm not scared.
But I would suggest that you will learn what fear is if you ever try to drive down that road over to Highway 1.
Oh, yeah?
I would suggest you don't, because I know you're a trekker. So if you're going to do it, I would suggest you just go on over to the Mission and hike on down there. But don't even think about hiking up. And if you're going to drive down there, don't even think about driving down there when the sun starts going down. And when those switchbacks and the sun hit you right in the eyes. Just a warning.
All right, Captain Anonymous, 479-1080. Billy, do I look like I'm scared of some... 479-1080.
We have a visitor.
Who is it?
Hula's here.
Hula. She smells pizza.
Yep.
She's all about it. She's your best friend when food's in the house.
I'm telling you. I need a friend.
479-1080. Ben, are you... Any roads that scare you that you've been down around here?
Any roads?
Yeah.
Well, when I was
17. That scares me.
Yeah, when I was in high school, 17 scared me.
Yeah.
Also, when I was in high school, I crashed my dad's car on White Road down in Corralitos.
Yes, that one turn right there, getting onto from Calabasas onto White Road. Is that the one? There's this one. Man, that turn is one of the fastest, funnest turns I've ever driven on, but it is dangerous.
Yeah, I think going down from Calabasas to Freedom.
Right.
I used to take that pretty fast, some of those turns, and yeah, one time it didn't work out for me so well.
Yeah. 479-1080.
My Tokyo drift skills didn't engage.
The city of Santa Cruz is one step closer to having high-speed internet downtown, Billy. Does this excite you?
I think it makes sense. We should all have high-speed internet.
Santa Cruz Fiber is what the project is called. It's Cruz.io's internet high-speed fiber project. The move, city leaders recently approved the encroachment permits that would allow this to be installed. The move will allow them to begin their citywide fiber optic network.
And how's it going to be paid for? Is it going to be a tax issue, or
it doesn't say that, Billy?
Everybody going to be billed? I mean, what's
the fiber optic cables will be able to transfer data so much faster
work.
when you're at home. You just won't even notice that you're downloading.
Yeah, it sends up to like a gigabit per second or something like that.
Is that a lot?
That's why it's called a gigabit.
Yeah. Yeah, gigabit per second.
As long as my Netflix streams without a problem, I'm fine. You know.
I think the way this is going to work out is the city is going to give Cruz.io the money. They're going to give them like a grant, and then Cruz.io is going to pay that back through subscription fees.
All right.
Okay.
There you go, Billy.
That's it. Well, you know, it matters. Money matters.
How many people live in Santa Cruz? Is it 60,000? 50?
In Santa Cruz County?
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz?
Proper, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
10,000 for Capitola. That's really small.
On a yearly basis, Santa Cruz County sees around 3 million visitors. That's 3 million visitors per year.
3 million?
3 million in Santa Cruz County. Many of them will be coming this weekend as the unofficial kickoff to summer begins. So I don't know.
When is the official
I don't know what
kickoff?
percentage. I don't know what percentage of a million people will be here, but this weekend is going to be packed.
When is the official kickoff of summer?
Memorial Day weekend.
No, it's the unofficial.
Oh, okay.
When is the official one?
June 1st, right?
June 2nd?
I guess May 21st? I have no idea.
May
when does summer
21st?
start? June 22nd? Summer always started for me the day I got out of school.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's when it started.
I'm on
so it was
summer
the
then.
middle of May, basically.
47910. Was
Yeah,
that news?
summer for most people started last week.
Was that news, Billy, that this weekend's going to be packed because of
No,
Memorial?
that's not
news.
No.
No.
But it's always good to remind people that it is this weekend.
It's going to be the most packed it's been since, I think, 2005. Right?
Why?
So
How do they know that?
Why?
I don't know. Estimates.
Okay. Body found in Aptos Creek. That's news.
That is news.
You know where they found the body? And it must have washed down there during the floods because it's in such bad such a bad state they can't identify whether it's a female or male.
Wow.
It's in Aptos Creek. So Aptos Creek, if you know, is the one that goes through Nizene Marks. That's Aptos Creek. It goes out of Nizene Marks and crosses SoCal Avenue. You know that bridge goes up to the trestle in Aptos, and then you start going up the hill there. Well, that creek right there is Aptos Creek. The body was found.
That's where, I don't know if you remember when there's all the flooding. There was those two kids. We posted this video on our Facebook page. The two kids that were trying to surf down Aptos Creek.
Right.
That's probably about the place that it was then. And
there was a third surfer, it looks like.
There could have been. There could have been. It mostly just travels through people's backyards. So somewhere out there, somebody
dumped the wife.
Somebody had a body sitting in their yard.
Or she dumped her husband.
Who knows how long.
Right. We don't know. Yeah. Usually you can tell from the hips.
Yeah, I know. I wonder how deteriorated. I don't even want to.
Yeah, we don't want to know.
What was that song? Wasn't that Shakira, My Hips Don't Lie?
Yes. The Sea Lion Point Trail at Point Lobos has been reopened and back in time for Memorial Day
That's
weekend.
good news
Billy?
for you, Dave.
Yes. Is it?
You're gonna? Well, I don't know. You like going hiking and stuff.
3/4 mile trail is
you might
now
want to
to
stay away
88.
from those sea lions.
Yeah,
no kidding.
no kidding, huh? They like little girls in their dresses.
Well,
that was amazing.
No,
film.
if you ask sea lion experts, it was really the fault of all those darn humans for feeding it and trying to antagonize it.
Yeah, sure. I never blame the animal. The animal's doing what it's supposed to.
479-1080.
We're so lucky we get to live with all these amazing animals and stuff. It's just what an amazing place Earth is.
Did you see the story about that zoo down in Buenos Aires? So apparently this zoo shut down, I think a year ago, and there's a bunch of animals
that they didn't
still,
take care of. They just left them in the cages or something.
No, they're being taken care of, but yeah,
people come by to feed them and stuff.
Yeah, they're being fed, but yeah, they're being kept in cages. This is a zoo right in the middle of the city. That's the reason why they had to shut it down, was all the city noise. And basically, the issue is right now, the people that ran the zoo are sort of dragging their feet about getting these animals out of there.
Yeah.
And well, part of the issue is that some of these animals are so domesticated by the zoo that they wouldn't be able to survive, or they wouldn't have a very good time if they were just sent to like a wilderness shelter or something like that. If they were put in more,
I'll take a tiger
of a realistic situation, then yeah, they probably wouldn't do very well.
I'll take any big cat.
That's terrible.
Well, I think you need to have some serious resources to be able to take care of that.
Space and setup.
Yeah, you can't feed them pizza, Billy. Take them into your room, feed them pizza.
Lexi will eat pizza. Lexi eats everything I eat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The only thing she won't eat.
That's not good, Billy.
The only food that she rejects that I eat is rye bread.
How is Lexi so skinny then?
Well, I don't feed her a lot. I control her.
Well, I mean, my dog will eat as much as you give him.
Right, and that's it. I don't give him as much as she wants. She way wants more food than I give her.
Too bad it's not that easy to do it to yourself. Just say, I'm going to only give myself half a slice of pizza.
Well, that's it. Well, that's what a diet's called. It's just hard to do.
It's hard to do because you have control of it.
Yeah.
I'd have only one slice of pizza, but there wasn't enough bacon on that one slice of pizza. I need more.
There you go. Wait. I don't know why you're saying that. There's plenty of bacon on this pizza.
Hey, not for me. I
by
need
the
more.
way, if you're Jewish, it's okay to eat bacon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, according to a story that we have
I feel
here.
much better then.
I don't know where it's at, but I guess we'll get to that somewhere.
Two things I love, being born a Jew and eating bacon.
Well, you're in luck, Billy, because now it is okay to eat bacon,
I mean,
according
right
to the
now.
study. I could find it at the study. Who cares?
What's better than bacon? The salt, the fat, the smoothness of the fat.
Ew, Billy,
perfect.
it doesn't. Oh, let's get out to the phone lines. 479-1080. Who's this?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Did you know that Santa Cruz has a zoo?
No.
Where?
In Scotts Valley, off Mount Herman, in between Felton and nobody knows about this. In between Scotts Valley and Felton, when you're driving on Mount Herman, going towards Felton on the left, there's a road that turns off to the left. There's a refuge zoo there, and it's run by years ago when I was there. I did some community time there because I was paying off a ticket. And so I had no idea it existed. And it's run by this woman, and supposedly she has to because it's a nonprofit. She gets money from the state or whatever to take care of these animals. They're all refuge animals. Like I saw a tiger with one leg missing. Some monkeys that were just nuts. They kill you.
Monkeys are nuts.
Well, I mean, they were like vicious.
Sure. Well, take a human, lock it in a cage, and then see how it behaves.
Yeah, that's true. But they were there for a reason, right? And then there was this huge hog. I swear, I'm not exaggerating. This hog was the size of a big bull, and sitting on top of it was a goose, right? And it was just like pecking around and chewing on pecking on the hair of the hog. And I went to the lady and I said, because she had me doing all the grunge work there, and I said, what is that goose doing on top of that hog there? That's incredible. It was huge. I mean, it's like when you stand up, it's eye to eye, you can look at it, and it's black hog. And she goes, that's what we had some Gieslings, I guess you call it, or whatever, and one of the children wandered off into where this big hog was.
And decided it was his mother.
Well, and became friends with it.
That's great.
And just stayed with the hog. And it just sits on top of the hog and pecks on it and cleans it, and the hog loves it.
Is this place still there?
This zoo is still there. Nobody knows it's they had a lion in the back there, African lion, that was one of the oldest African lions around. That's, again,
probably not there anymore. Yeah.
No, he died. Yeah, but it's still there. But nobody knows this place exists. If you went to the house and knocked on the door and say, "Look, I'd like to have a little tour," she's obligated to, or whoever's running it now. This is over 20 years ago. She's obligated to take you around. But it's a zoo for all those animals that don't have a place to go. They're too old. They're handicapped or whatever. It's an amazing place.
Oh, cool. Sounds like a place I'd like to visit.
That's hard to imagine. Thank you for the call, Tony.
Let's go,
479-1080. I don't have any money on me.
The goose and the hog?
Yeah.
Boy, if you film that
three-legged lion,
and put that on YouTube, you could make yourself a lot of money.
I'll tell you what I saw today, which was interesting. Yoga with goats.
What?
So they have these baby goats, and you're doing yoga, and the goats like climb on your back, and they kiss you, and all that.
Gross.
I love it. Baby goats are just fun
Don't
creatures.
They, eat your hair or something?
I don't think so.
You look excited when you talk about baby goats, Billy. You actually look
I love
excited.
animals. I do. I love animals. Yeah.
That's sweet, Billy.
That's why I was thrilled to see Hula here for a minute.
How can I read this next story? Jose Castaneda and his domestic violence trial.
Well, he's sort of an animal.
Yeah. A jury entered its third day of deliberations Wednesday, deciding whether former Salinas City Council member Jose Castaneda is guilty of domestic violence. This is from KSBW.com, by the way. He's charged with a felony domestic violence, stalking, false imprisonment, and kidnapping. His ex-girlfriend was emotional while testifying, of course. She told police that Castaneda waited outside her house for her to return home. When she did, he forced her into a van, drove her to a different part of the city, and beat her. She was locked inside the van for 3 hours as Castaneda allegedly struck her head and grabbed her.
How is that not kidnapping?
I don't know.
It's kidnapping and assault. That's a long
charged
time.
With felony domestic violence, stalking, false imprisonment, and kidnapping. Yeah, he is being charged with kidnapping.
Sure. I'm telling you, he could go away for 10 years easily.
He was serving on the city council at the time of the incident. He held a press conference outside City Hall minutes before police took him to jail. He spent one night in jail and posted $100,000 bail.
Wow.
Wow. He's got some money there.
One of our callers called up to ask, what is this guy not guilty of?
Yeah, really.
This one's kind of local. Jack Del Rio is defending Sean Hannity's coverage of Seth Rich conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
You know, Sean Hannity is next to go, right?
Sounds like it.
It sounds like it. Fox News is giving him a bunch of crap for. They want him to quit talking about this, right? But he refuses.
Well, yeah, Fox
He keeps
News,
saying that there's something here to this story.
Fox News has retracted their original story about Seth Rich. They're saying that it doesn't meet their journalistic standards. But Sean Hannity is continuing to discuss the issue.
So the story is, right, correct me if I'm wrong, Ben, Seth Rich was some guy who is accused of leaking those emails from the DNC, right? It was him that leaked them and not the Russians. That's the story. He was killed, and now people are saying that he was killed to
is this another one of Hillary's murders?
Well,
one of the 46 murders?
Actually, I guess it would be the
DNCs.
Russians. The Russians that would murder him in order to keep the heat off of them.
Actually, I can't be sure. I assume it was Donald Trump that murdered him.
The DNC murdered him?
Well, I think
Why
that's
would
a
they murder him?
conspiracy.
Why would they murder him?
Because he leaked their documents.
But at that point, it's just about revenge. Revenge is so petty.
No, because there's the whole thing where people are saying part of the proof is that Podesta wrote an email saying we have to deal with someone or teach someone a lesson.
Oh, really? Now we're getting somewhere, Billy. Now I believe it.
Now, I love it.
47910.
Revenge can mean so much.
Well, okay, so it wouldn't make sense to me if it was the DNC that did it because it was their emails that got leaked. It would just be about revenge. To me, it would seem like the Russians would be much more interested in letting him be the scapegoat and
Exactly.
fine, bury him,
Right.
put him in the dirt, and let him take the blame.
Or Trump. Trump's people.
Or Trump, yeah.
Yeah, they're also,
Well, that would kind of defeat the purpose of the Russians interfering with the elections anyways.
Well, that way it's not the Russians. Trump could turn around and say, see, it wasn't my asking the Russians to do Hillary's email, which he did. Remember, he asked them to bring
Yeah,
it.
okay, all right,
Well,
yeah.
whatever.
He did. It was a joke, but yeah, he did.
And I think this is what
It's all a joke.
the authorities investigating the case and what his family believe, it was part of a botched burglary attempt.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting.
That sucks, dude. That totally sucks. That's boring.
Well, but, is it really true? I mean, burglary for what? Were they just trying to get his stereo, or were they trying to steal more information that he had?
Well, I think personal belongings that were on his body were stolen.
Well, I would do that too and make it look like it was.
Right, these are professionals we're talking about,
yeah,
Ben. These aren't
come on.
These aren't some podunk.
We know how to make a crime look like a robbery when it's really about classified information we're stealing.
Keep going, Billy. I like that. This is sounding better. This is sounding better.
Come on.
After Hannity sent out a tweet saying his heart is not troubled in the least by a report that Fox News staffers are embarrassed by his crusade, Del Rio, that's Jack Del Rio, the coach for the Raiders, defended Hannity for what the coach described as asking legitimate questions. He says, is it still possible to have legitimate questions asked and answered without venomous attacks based on political preferences?
Not from Sean Hannity's mouth. Or Savage or Sunshine. These people,
There you go. I think we covered all the important things there. Yeah, okay.
We only have to fill 2 more minutes, and then we can go to the news.
Let's go to Andrew. Andrew's calling, then we can get to the good stuff.
Good.
Andrew calling from Monterey. You're in the air.
Hey guys, you're missing the big point that if Seth Rich was actually the DNC leaker, the entire narrative that the Democrats are pushing right now is completely false because they're blaming the Russians for hacking the DNC and hacking the election.
Right. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, and that's a big deal because that really throws a wrench in the entire debacle. And there are really credible sources that are saying he was the DNC leaker, including Julian Assange and Kim.com, which are both associated with WikiLeaks.
Yeah, but they're also associated with the Russians.
According to
it doesn't really solve it. It doesn't solve the
mainstream
story.
media.
Yeah. I'm not. There's nothing mainstream about my media. I'm alt left.
But this is the story. I mean, if you want to believe that they're connected to the Russians, you can believe that. But
well, I have no.
there hasn't
The
been
fact
any
is,
evidence that shows they are.
Well, well, we know that. I don't know about you, but I know of only one person that talks to Russians. That's Cyril Vitomsky, a guy who used to work here. Now, on the Trump team, there are about 7 people who've been communicating with the Russians quite a bit over the last year
We're
or
not
two.
talking about the Trump team. We're talking about WikiLeaks.
Well, it's all of a. Possibly, it's all of a piece.
Thank you for.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you for the call, Andrew. 479-10-8.
Again, we don't.
If you're going to do that, Billy, then all you're doing is muddying the water.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and that's all we have is muddy water for now. I keep hearing from conservatives, "Where's the evidence?" You don't get to see the evidence during the investigation. Every time I have a piece of evidence as an investigator, I'm not Donald Trump. I don't like to say, "Hey, look at this! Look what I found." No, you gather it all together, and then you hand it to the Justice Department. So you're not supposed to know the evidence yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
I think, to me, the most sort of striking piece of evidence is how his family feels about all this.
How does his family feel about it?
They want it to stop.
Yeah, they've sent I think multiple letters to. I think they posted an op-ed piece in the Washington Post asking Fox News to cease their coverage of it, just because
they're using them basically.
Well, they don't like dealing with the emotional stress of seeing their son talked about all the time.
Sure. And they don't mind because they're trying to prove something.
Well, I think if his death was suspicious, normally the people who are most likely to believe some sort of conspiracy
are conservative
about the death.
Yeah.
Well, no, not even that.
Okay.
Not even politically. I'm just saying his family members. If there was anything suspicious about his death, his family members would probably be some of the most likely people to say, "Hey, you know what? This was suspicious.
Get it solved.
There might be something else behind this."
Yeah.
I don't believe.
Maybe they're being paid to be quiet, Ben. I mean, maybe
but
Seth Rich.
Could you be paid to be quiet if you wanted to know what happened to your son?
If your son
how much
was
money
murdered,
would it take you?
how much money would it take to get you to shut up about it?
Yeah.
Well, you're believing that, number one, that is their son, and that this, I mean,
it's probably not even their son.
Okay. Well, I mean, where does it stop, dude? I mean,
all right.
That's going too far.
I give up.
Okay. No, you're
say something
absolutely
nutty,
right.
and I went
Maybe
too
these,
far.
Who knows? We don't know.
Maybe these are fake actors who were pretending to be his parents.
Right.
False flag.
Some people say that. Some people say that, out there, some of those shootings and bombings, those are people with
Well, let's
fake
find
legs.
out what Alex Jones thinks, and then we'll know.
KSEO Santa Cruz, 479-1080. So we'll be right back.
CBS News, I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The Congressional Budget Office has sized up the revised bill to replace Obamacare, passed in the House, now headed to the Senate. CBS News correspondent Bill Rakoff.
The report says the bill that goes to the Senate will save billions, but will still leave millions of Americans uninsured by 2026. The CBO had previously said 24 million fewer people would have coverage in 26, but the number's been adjusted to 23. Because of the projected $119 billion in savings, Republicans will be able to use the so-called reconciliation process to pass the bill with a simple 51-vote majority.
Republican Senator James Lankford on the CBO score.
We can challenge that number. We can talk about the economics of that number. The real issue is, how do we provide health care to not only the 9 million people that are on the individual exchange right now, but the 6.5 million people that used to have insurance that have dropped out of the market.
7 people, including a woman, are now under arrest in connection with the bombing that killed more than 20 people at an Ariana Grande concert in England Monday. CBS's Mark Phillips is in Manchester.
Police here have changed their minds that this attack was the work of one man. Manchester Police Chief Ian Hopkins.
I think it's very clear that this is a network that we are investigating.
Security sources have indicated they no longer think the suicide bombing suspect, Salman Abedi, made the device himself. He may have been just the mule, to use the security parlance, who carried it.
Ariana Grande has canceled tomorrow night's scheduled concert in London, along with several other European dates. A spokesman says she will resume her tour in Paris on June 7th. After a meeting with Pope Francis at the Vatican, President Trump has arrived in Brussels for a meeting of NATO allies.
We will work together on various problems. Number one right now is terrorism.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson traveling with Mr. Trump.
I think you can expect the president to be very tough on him, on saying, look, the U.S. is spending 4%. We're doing a lot. The American people are doing a lot. For your security, for our joint security, you need to make sure you're doing your share.
One candidate down in the search for an FBI director to replace James Comey. CBS News confirms former Connecticut Senator Joe Lieberman is out of the running because of ties to a law firm retained by President Trump to help him navigate the Russia investigations. Severe weather in the South, a tornado confirmed in Prosperity, South Carolina, where power lines and trees are blocking roads.
We got some power outages in that immediate area, but I cannot tell you how many at this time either.
A plea from Newberry County Emergency Management Coordinator Tommy Long.
Please stay off the roadways until we can get this situation under control.
Officials in Yadkinville, North Carolina say a possible tornado has blown out 2 walls of an elementary school gym and ripped off part of the roof. No injuries reported. Dow closed up 74 points. This is CBS News.
Wouldn't it be great if you could stop crime before it happens? With the Ring Floodlight Cam, you can. I'm Jamie Siminoff, inventor and founder of Ring. Floodlight Cam is a motion-activated HD security camera that connects right to your phone, so you're alerted when anyone steps onto your property. You can now see, speak, or even sound an alarm right from your phone, anywhere, anytime. Does your floodlight prevent crime? Ours does. Go to ring.com/advantage and save $150 off of a Ring of Security kit. That's ring.com/advantage.
Finding great people to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's time to try ZipRecruiter, where 80% of jobs get a qualified candidate in just one day. How? Using powerful technology, ZipRecruiter matches your job to the right candidates fast. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/talk for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/talk.
Some Olympic medals are already showing their age.
More than 80 U.S. athletes have returned the medals they won at the Rio Games because they're showing signs of damage. Other athletes around the globe have complained, too. Beach volleyball star Carrie Walsh-Jennings says her bronze medal is flaking and rusting. Gold medal wrestler Kyle Snyder says his problems began the day after he won his medal. The U.S. Olympic Committee's been looking into this for a few months now. The word is athletes who turn in bad medals will get replacements. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
IKEA going high-tech in its lighting department. The Swedish furniture store is teaming up with Amazon, Google, and Apple so you can turn your light fixtures on and off with voice commands. Alexa, Assistant, and Siri will do the work for you. A gateway kit will cost about $80. IKEA hopes to roll out the voice feature this summer or early fall. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
If you're a CPAP user, soap and water cleaning may leave harmful bacteria, viruses, and mold that can make you sick. That alone will keep you up at night. Until now, SoClean.com is the world's first and only automated, hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. SoClean kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs without soap, water, harsh chemicals, or even equipment disassembly. And now, you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-800-632-5959.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean's revolutionary design makes it easy to clean your CPAP and protect you against CPAP-related illnesses. Plus, SoClean works with all popular CPAP devices to clean them in minutes. It really is that easy. Don't risk your health. Call SoClean.com now to try it risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-800-632-5959. This offer won't last. Call now. 1-800-632-5959. 1-800-632-5959.
Good afternoon. You're listening to KSEO Santa Cruz AM 1340 KOMY, La Selva Beach, Watsonville. The time is now 5:06. We've got traffic and weather for you. We start off with traffic. Let's see what CHP is reporting, if anything. 475-1080 with your reports, by the way. Things looking good on that side of the hill. Santa Cruz County Highway 1 southbound near Riverside. Traffic hazard reported at 448. Looks like we have a large piece of metal in the roadway. Highway 1 southbound near Salinas Road. Traffic hazard as well. No details. Be on the lookout there. Highway 17, we start off. Things in the southbound direction approaching the reservoir just under the limit. Not too much there, though, to worry about. Highway 1 in Santa Cruz southbound. Stop and go at 41st Avenue. Monterey into Seaside, 10 miles per hour. Same thing as you're traveling southbound 101 through Coyote Valley. Your weather forecast for tonight, patchy drizzle, mostly cloudy. Lows will be around 53 degrees. Tomorrow, drizzle and fog as well. Cloudy conditions by noon. Highs will be around 63 degrees. Small craft advisory tomorrow morning through tomorrow evening. Tonight, you can expect west winds 5 to 15 knots, wind waves 1 to 3 feet, and west swells 3 to 5 feet at 11 seconds. The time now is 5:07. We're moving on to headlines. Susan Simon is standing by with those. Remember to check out KSEO.com for headlines, traffic, weather, podcasts, and more. The time is now 5:08. Susan's up next.
Thanks. The Santa Cruz County coroner is working to determine the cause of death for a man whose body, which was discovered Monday by hikers, it was found in the Aptos Creek area of Aptos between Highway 1 and Spreckles Drive. A man who was shot and killed in Salinas earlier this month has been identified. 23-year-old Gabriel Hernandez Rangel, who did not have any history of being involved with gangs, was shot while on the 100 block of Paloma Avenue. That May 12th shooting is being investigated as gang-related. Local Senator Bill Monning spoke with KSCO about Saturday's mud, dirt, and rock slide on Highway 1 in Big Sur, and he said,
the number one priority is protecting worker safety, as it should be. And once they can guarantee the worker safety, they'll get the crews and the equipment in there. It's one thing to move a slide off the road. It's another thing when the entire road slips away. And the reconstruction cost, time, materials, labor, it is huge. And yet the state maintains an absolute priority of maintaining that as a state highway open, both for public safety and also for tourist access, not just to Big Sur, but to the north and the south as well.
Senator Monning also spoke about what local events are coming up this coming weekend and on Memorial Day. Caltrans has announced that it has no idea when the massive slip-out that occurred last weekend along Highway 1 on the Big Sur coast, that's the same one Bill Monning was just talking about, will be cleared. Richard Maroney has the details for us.
The road is buried under 40 feet of rock and debris. The slide, near Mud Creek, is from 1/4 to a half-mile wide. Geologists are looking at it, and soon there will be a better idea about when it will be safe to clear and fix the road. Construction crews need to wait for the immediate danger to pass before beginning to work. This is Richard Maroney for KSCO Radio.
The 4th Annual Animal Film Festival is being held this evening in Santa Cruz. Some of the films being featured include Called to Rescue, Maybelle's Story, and Hope, the Blind Goat. The festival will take place from 7 till 9 p.m. at the Del Mar Theater. That's located at 1124 Pacific Avenue in Santa Cruz. For more information, people can go online to www.animalfilmfestival.org. Time now 10.5 minutes after 5 p.m. More local news for you coming up at the bottom of the hour. For KSCO, I'm Susan Simon.
Hi, registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs here. I've been studying healthy bodies for 35 years, and what I've got to tell you may shock and surprise you, but if you listen up, it may change your life. If you're one of the hundreds of millions of Americans who's gotten a prescription this year, you probably noticed that the text was illegible, and not because of the doctor's calligraphy. Even typewritten scripts are impossible to understand. That's because they're written in Latin. Does your doctor or your pharmacist speak Latin? Probably not. So what could possibly be the purpose of writing instructions and details of something as important, potent, and possibly dangerous in an ancient language that is not only arcane and incomprehensible, but hasn't even been spoken commonly in 2,000 years? A prescription is a critical component of the therapeutic process as well as the physician-patient relationship, and its potential to help or harm makes it one of the most significant of all written communications. At the end of the day, each step of the medical process is supposed to benefit the patient. Pharmaceuticals are powerful chemicals, and their correct use is of the utmost importance. Because most physicians aren't going to be writing scripts in clear, concise English anytime soon, your best bet when you get one from your doctor is to ask them to go over the drug dosage and directions with you, making sure the handwriting is legible. And when you pick up your medication from your pharmacy, look carefully at the bottle to confirm that the information on the label matches up with what you were prescribed. Open the bottle and check your meds for accuracy, and always make sure you understand the directions and possible side effects. Pharmacist Ben here, urging you to go to kscohealth.com to order Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Healthy Start Pack, and other nutritional supplements that I personally use and recommend. You can purchase these premium quality products at wholesale prices online at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com. I'm the pharmacist that believes that staying healthy and strong is not only about medicine, it's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to do its work. Go to kscohealth.com. Make sure you check out the cool videos too at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com.
Come enjoy the amazing Redwood Mountain Fair. Music, arts, fun, food, and microbrews. There's something for everyone June 3rd and 4th at beautiful Roaring Camp in Felton. 22 fantastic bands on 2 stages. Arts and crafts, expanded kids zone. Discount tickets and detailed information, links to bands and artists, all available online at redwoodmountainfair.com.
This portion of Flight 1080 brought to you by the Santa Cruz Sentinel. Read the Sentinel daily in print and online, and hear the stories discussed here with the Flight 1080 team. And call in and be part of the discussion. even if that means arguing with Billy Sunshine.
This is AM 1080, KSCO.
Yeah, Billy, it doesn't say whenever somebody sends me a text message, it doesn't give me the ID. It just shows me their comments. 218-5726. Is it possible his parents or family were threatened? I suppose they're talking about Seth. What's his name again? Seth Richards? What was his name again?
Seth Rich.
Seth Rich. Yeah. Is it possible his parents or family were threatened? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. We know nothing. That's one thing I love about this. We're always talking about stuff we know nothing about.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best. Here's something I do know about, though.
Oh, wow.
I know about fantastic deals.
477?
477-60.
That
you got
deal?
it. You got it, Billy. Today's special from Mountain Mike's, our good friends down the street. Feed your hunger today with Mountain Mike's all-you-can-eat pizza and salad dinner buffet for only $7.57.
Lots of salad for you, Billy.
That's all-you-can-eat pizza and salad. Only $7.57. Yes.
They obviously, it's like not a smorgasbord, a buffet, whatever. So they put out a number of different pizzas.
Right.
Do they put out a Billy Sunshine special?
Ooh.
I don't know, Billy. We'll have to call them and ask.
I think if you ask them, they probably would.
They put one together.
Because everyone in the restaurant would probably like a slice, right?
Absolutely.
479-1080. I'm just going to pick a story from random here.
Do it.
Ooh, this is fun.
Cosby's lawyers claim racial discrimination in jury selection process. Is this
really fun.
Is this yuck, or should we get to this?
No, this is interesting.
Really?
I mean, it's ridiculous. That's why it's interesting.
Well, no, okay. Bill Cosby's lawyers accused Pennsylvania prosecutors of trying to systematically keep black people off the jury Tuesday after prosecutors used their strikes to send 2 black women home. Let's see, the judge rejected the argument after prosecutors said the second woman was a former Pittsburgh detective who sued the city after she was arrested in a public scandal. They said the case raised doubts about her credibility.
You get during voir dire, which is what this is when you choose your jurors, you get certain exemptions without having to give a reason. And you certainly don't want an OJ react. You don't want the OJ. You don't want it where you have an all-black jury then, sort of deciding, well, OJ didn't do it, so.
Of the 11 current jurors, 1 is black.
Well, that's not enough. That's good. That's going too far.
You think he'd be better off having? I mean, what should it be, Ben? Should it be an equal amount of black men and women, and black and white men and women?
It should be the same.
I mean, what's?
It should be the same percentage as the community that the crime happened in.
To be honest, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with the idea that your race would make you rule one way or another in this case.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, it's not about the way it makes you rule. Well, I guess indirectly it is, because
the law is the law is the law. The law is colorblind, right?
No, yes, the law is, but people people who are passing judgment are not. So if
Would
you're
you-
black and you grew up in the ghetto and you grew up, being discriminated
badly
against
by whitey.
yeah, then it's you're just going to have a bad view on them. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be almost impossible to.
But
for example,
but it's not a case about
if
a
you're
white
a
person.
prosecutor,
It's a case about Bill Cosby.
No, here's the issue. If you're a prosecutor, let's say would you want 12 guys who smoked pot on your jury? No, you want to be able to get the guy.
Well, it depends on what the case
what?
is, right?
I mean, if it's a pot case, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, you didn't
In other
specify
words,
that.
I mean, in other words, people do what's called jury nullification.
Okay, but smoking pot for a long time and in many states still is a crime. It's very different from race. It's not a crime to be black or white or any color.
No, just that you see. In other words, certain people are going to see life a certain way, and that's the job of the jury consultant to pick a jury that they believe is going to be more likely to see things in their favor. So either depending, sometimes you want single women on your jury, or sometimes you want mothers on your jury, depending on
I just feel like
what's going on.
Humans we're so diverse, and everyone comes from different walks of life. It doesn't matter what your race is.
That's right. It shouldn't.
You should be able to interpret.
But by the same time,
law.
should you have a black man judged by 12 white men? Really, I doubt it. That doesn't sound like a good idea.
That's the way it used to be.
Yeah,
and that's why it's not a good idea.
I hate to say it,
the
but
results
I
were
don't-
not good.
I don't think that's a good idea either.
No, of course not.
But I mean, once we've eliminated these laws we used to have laws where you could literally restrict juries to only white people.
Yeah.
Once
imagine.
you've eliminated those laws, do we really need to keep focusing on race as being this factor?
Not race per se. It depends on what it is that you're looking at. Sometimes it would be experience with police, or whatever it is. I mean, race is one of many factors that you consider during voir dire, because you're just trying to get as.
What does that mean? Voir dire. What is
voir dire is.
How do you spell that, by the way?
Something like VOIDUIR. I have no idea. Voir dire. DOIR. And really, I don't even know what it means exactly. I expect it means search for fair people.
I was very impressed when you busted that out.
The word voir dire does sound cool. Yeah, it's a Latin word.
So in this
like most
case,
law.
We were talking about how I don't think that race really should be that important of an issue. In this case, we have Bill Cosby's lawyer, who is saying the prosecutor, who's trying to prosecute.
Well, they're just saying in general. They used race to say that this whole thing is about race. I didn't do these things, and I'm just being attacked because I'm a black.
Well, they're
man.
saying very specifically the prosecutor is racially discriminating against certain jurors.
Yeah,
he's singling these jurors out, and he's choosing, or he's striking these jurors. He's using his strikes.
Yeah.
To make sure that these two black women were not on the jury. So obviously, this lawyer thinks it's about race and nothing else.
Or the other lawyer thinks it is.
To see or speak, or to be or not to be. I don't forget. Somebody called and said what that word I asked you was.
Voir dire?
Yes, to see and seek, or to see and speak.
How do you spell it? I'm gonna look
or to
it
be
up.
or not to be. How do you? What is it, Billy?
To seek. To seek.
What's a word? What's a word? That's what I want to know.
Voir dire. I don't know.
Spell it.
I can't
Oh, and it's
spell.
also it's.
Do I look like I know
Did you
how
say
to
it was
spell?
Latin? It's French.
I say
it's the opposite of what you said.
Yeah, it's not Latin. It's French.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
2 words.
Voir dire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead.
what does it mean?
VOIR
Yeah.
and then DIRE.
Right.
And a preliminary examination of a witness or a juror by a judge or counsel.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's exactly what you're talking about.
But that sort of
dire.
But think about that. That describes what it is. It doesn't actually give you the exact definition of those words. That's not a translation of those words. That
What?
is an explanation, but not a definition. If you know what I
Voyeur
mean.
dire. Yeah, if you ever need to remember how to spell voir dire, it's voyeur dire.
Yeah, VOIRDIRE. And if you ever want to know how to pronounce it, I think like one of these things like Google or something will tell you if you ask it. It'll say it for you.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Try that with your
Don't you guys do that
Ask
with, like-
Google thing.
Well,
at
check
home.
this out. Check this. I left my radio on at home intentionally so I could do this.
good.
Check this out. And now imagine this. Imagine that we're living in space age. I mean, this is
This is
like
gonna be
the
happening
future
not
shit.
just to your
I am
home.
going to turn on the stereo. I'm going to set romantic lighting in my house and turn
You
on the
don't
radio.
have romantic lighting.
Yeah, he does.
Does
I
he?
do. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Hey Google,
Worked on me.
set.
I wondered how he got you to do this.
Hey Google, set the living room light
He doesn't pay me, I'll tell you that
to
much.
50%. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Google, Set the bedroom light to red.
Ooh.
Hey, Google, play KSCO.
Isn't it already
Now that bedroom is
playing?
ready. That bedroom is ready. It's
Who you taking home
it's
tonight?
got a red light, 50%. Nice
I only see
radio in the
men here.
background. Huh?
I don't see anything but men around here. Where you got a lady we don't know about?
Oh yeah, I got.
Where's Drea?
My cat. I got my cat.
Wait, but didn't you also just activate everyone else who has a
Yes.
Google Home?
Yes.
Let's hope so.
Yes, turned all their lights red.
And
fun.
well, more importantly, you turned all their radios to KSCO.
That's right. Hey, Google, and then the other one is Alexa, right?
Yeah.
Alexa, play
Yeah, do that too,
KSCO.
right.
Boy, don't you remember there's like a Burger King commercial that set off everyone's... People weren't happy about that.
They were not happy
Commercials
about that.
should not have sirens, and they should not have doorbells. That should be a law.
And yeah, right. And they should stop being so screaming loud.
Well, that too. They should be the same sound as everyone. That was supposed to happen. I don't know what happened to that idea.
479-1080. So Bill Cosby,
What is
only
the chance
one.
that 50 people are lying about this?
Well, it's about 24. I was reading that they're having a hard time finding enough people to decide the case.
You mean
to
sit on
be
the jury?
jurors? Yeah, to sit
I
on
would
the
love
case.
to sit on this jury
because
This
so
is
many
the-
people have opinions about sexual
right.
assault. It's affected pretty much everybody.
I could be fair.
I would like to think I could be fair too.
And I
then
would
lock
much
them up.
rather have to be stuck in a jury talking about sexual issues than ugly murder issues, or really, I'd hate to be on a jury that was about like a real estate argument where someone's paying me $5 a day to decide some billionaire trying to get some money from another billionaire, and I'm getting $5 a day to decide this. I don't think.
I think it's $50 a day now. I think they raised it up to $50
Depends on
a
where you
day
are.
to do jury duty. Because otherwise, I mean, yeah, who would go?
I don't think it's $50 a day.
I think it is $50 a day. I think I got a.
I donated
a
mine back
request
to
not
the town. I think when
Really?
I did it last. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, I think he's in trouble. You think he's going to get a fair trial, Cosby?
A fair trial? Yeah, sure.
You think he can?
Yeah,
Why
but
not?
I think a fair trial would lock him up for a long time.
Yeah, you better hope he doesn't get
That's
a fair
not
trial.
a fair trial, Ben. You can't say we're going to give him a fair trial and lock him up for a long time.
Well,
You
we
don't
have to
say
wait
that.
for the evidence.
I
but,
mean, have you
know,
seen the accusations against him?
Those are accusations,
Right,
Ben.
but it's not evidence
It's
yet.
not evidence. Yes, those are accusations.
I'm saying based on the accusations, a fair trial, I mean, regardless if half of them are true, he's still going to go away for a long time.
Yeah, he's going to die in jail.
Yeah, he will. He will.
Yeah,
He will. Yeah.
yeah.
479-1080. Let's head out to Milpitas. Dave, you're in the air.
Yeah, why don't they set the jury up based on the ethnicity of the victims? What would that jury look like?
They'd have to be female, and young and pretty.
And what color?
Both colors.
Okay, that would be fair, wouldn't it?
Yeah. As
I
it should be.
guess.
As it should be.
I don't know if that would be fair, Dave. Thank you for your call too.
should have men, women, girls, and boys.
Because you'd have to have men and women on that
Right,
jury.
sure.
You can't just fill it full of women.
No,
I
you
mean,
can't
holy
fill it full of-
cow,
no, that's wrong. That's true.
That would be horrible. That would be just
Yeah.
as bad as filling it all with white people or black people. And that's
It'd be
not
great
good.
if you could just go with a completely anonymous pick.
You were asking me who asked what is worse, racism or sexism?
He
Who,
did.
who asked that? You asked that, Ben, right?
No, it was Billy.
Ben did it.
You asked that, and I
I
asked.
didn't.
Who asked it?
It was Billy.
Okay.
I did.
Billy did.
Well, I was
Okay.
talking with my friend Chichi earlier today
Right.
when we were at the dog park.
Right.
And somehow I just sort of said, so which is worse, racism or sexism?
And it's a she. Your friend
Yes.
Chichi is a she.
She's a woman.
Mhm.
She's black.
Uh-huh.
She's a couple years younger than me.
Okay, so when you asked
She's
me,
beautiful, though, and
When I
I'm
heard
ugly.
that question, my first response was, well, of course, racism is the worst, because that is.
And to which I responded,
because-
says a man.
Because you're right, because you're discriminating against and hating men and women, right? So that's obviously the worst.
Right, but as our young man pointed out, women are half of the planet. So, which is worse?
I don't know. I would. Wow. I mean,
you-
me being a man, am I not qualified to answer
You
anything
are
other than?
qualified. You're allowed to have an opinion, but then we still get to sort of then discuss your opinion.
Can we throw that? I mean, do I have to? Can we
Your
ask
opinion
other
only counts
people?
for half.
Yeah, absolutely.
479-1080.
479-1080.
Which is worse? Which is worse in your opinion? Sexism or racism?
Yeah. If you could only get rid of one, that's another way
Wow,
of
dude.
asking the question. Which one would you get rid of?
I would go with racism.
Get rid of racism.
And I feel like a total man pig for
Yes,
saying that, right?
yes.
I mean, what kind
You
of
might
answer is
be.
that?
I don't know.
Well,
What is
to be
that?
fair, getting rid of racism would directly benefit you, whereas getting rid of sexism, well, no, that would still benefit you because
Yeah, because I have kids.
Yeah,
I have a daughter. She's a woman.
What do you
but
say,
as
by the
you,
way?
an individual,
If you can only get rid of one, which do you get rid of?
I guess you'd have to ask yourself, what is a bigger problem in this country, right?
Well, not this country.
You mean in the world?
Maybe.
Yeah, I would. You should look at a world scale. I think
I do.
I mean, if you're going to end racism
I'm one of
or
those
sexism,
sleazy world guys that they don't like somebody.
Shouldn't you start with the man in the mirror? If you want to make the world a better place,
start with the man in the mirror.
you know?
Absolutely.
Take a look in the mirror and then make a change.
Well, when I look in the mirror, you know
Michael
what?
Jackson
I
said
hardly
that.
ever look in the mirror anymore.
Yeah, no, that's
As you get older and
you
balder, if you don't
start putting stickers on there.
What's the point of looking? You don't want to see what's going on.
Well, you don't want hairs growing out of your nose and
I usually
crazy eyebrows.
I usually just blame the man in the mirror for everything that's wrong with the world.
What if you have hair coming out of your ears, Billy? You want to see that?
My barber takes care of it once every 4 months.
Yeah, you might want to check more
By the way,
often.
my
than
barber
that.
is in the same shopping center as
Luigi.
No, as
Mountain Mike's.
As Mountain Mike's, and I almost was going to go there today before the show, but I would have been late.
479-1080.
I know how frightened you get if I'm not here on time.
Let's head out to.
It takes long to cut your.
It doesn't take long at all. That's why I was going to do it. He cuts the beard, the hair, the eyebrows, the ears, the nose. He does it all.
Wow, that's why he has no ears or eyebrows.
He gives me a Brazilian.
No, he has no Brazilian. 479-1080. Judith in Santa Cruz, you're in the air.
Hi. You were talking about cell phones. I just saw this really scary thing about this on snoopwall.com. This guy is saying that people that have smartphones, when you click on the app for a flashlight, it automatically goes to 3 countries, all your information. I just would check it out, people that have smartphones. Go to snoopwall.com. It was on Brett Bayer. But anyway, I just called to say also that with there was just a trial with Bill Cosby, and he won. It was a lawsuit. It was a different one, a different rape case, and he was found innocent. And it came out in the news. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, here's the big question I wanted to say to everybody in the audience is like, why did all these 25 witnesses come forward all of a sudden at this time? I mean, it was years and years ago, so what happened? There was definitely collusion somewhere, and he was about to buy NBC, and they did take him down for that reason. That's very possible. It's just a possibility.
Thank you for your call, Judith. Hey, we got to head out to CBS News. We'll talk about it on the other side of the break,
More
though.
Americans would be uninsured under the revised Republican health care bill by 2026 than under Obamacare. The difference, according to the CBO, 23 million people. Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer.
The report makes clear Trump care would be a cancer on the American health care system, causing costs to skyrocket, making coverage unaffordable for those with pre-existing conditions and many seniors, and kicking millions off their health insurance.
More from CBS's Nancy Cordes.
Moderate Republicans in the Senate had already said that they weren't satisfied with the version of the bill that came out of the House, and they want to get to work on a new bill anyway. And that's what we've seen happen. Senate Republicans getting together in groups over the past couple of weeks to try to hash through what their bill would look like.
CBS News Update. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Hartfield and Spreckles.
Healthcare that fits your Santa Cruz lifestyle. That's why Dignity Health Dominican Hospital and Dignity Health Medical Group Dominican work with you to make personal choices regarding your health. It's the type of care we can offer because we're more than just a hospital and medical group. We're part of this community. Visit DominicanHospital.org to find a doctor and start living healthy today. Healthcare that fits your Santa Cruz lifestyle. Dignity Health. Hello, human kindness.
Hello, folks. Charlie Friedman here at Ella's at the airport. Ella, how do you get people to travel to the Watsonville airport just to enjoy the food?
Service, we really feel like, is paramount for any good restaurant. You know, you can have great food, but if you don't have great service to go with it, then sometimes the bill is not fulfilled. And we feel that service is just as important, and so we really pride ourselves in being attentive, taking care of our customers as if we would be our parents. And of course, our ambiance is exceptional. I think, personally, I am a little biased, but I think our ambiance is gorgeous. We have those rolling hills that are so green right now, airplanes cresting over the hill and landing right in front of our restaurant. Of course, we have transformed that restaurant, which has been there for well over 30 years, I think, into a wonderfully comfortable dining experience. It's really a comfortable elegance is what we like to call it.
Ella's at the Watsonville Airport.
The Ebb and Flow River Arts Celebration is coming soon, Friday, June 2nd, for art making, dance, and fun on Cooper Street in downtown Santa Cruz. At 9 p.m., join the Night Walk along the San Lorenzo River, led by a jazz band, and see LED-lit aerial dancers and sculptures. Then, on June 3rd, flow into the Kinetic Art Parade at noon on the Riverwalk from Kaiser Arena to the Tannery Arts Center. A full day of family-friendly fun, dance, art, music, food, and celebration. Sponsored by KSCO, Santa Cruz County Bank, and Sutter Maternity and Surgery Center. Go to artscouncilsc.org. See you there.
You're listening to AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz. The time is 5:34. Headlines are up next. Here's Susan Simon.
Thanks, Dave. Former Salinas City Councilman Jose Castaneda was found guilty today of domestic violence. An ex-girlfriend accused Castaneda of stalking, kidnapping, sexual battery, and physically injuring her. The jury deadlocked on the sexual battery charge. Castaneda faces a maximum sentence of 9 years and 8 months in prison. His sentencing is scheduled to be on June 22nd. A man who was arrested yesterday near the Capitola Mall and who was taken to Dominican Hospital for a mental health evaluation faces possible criminal charges. That after he pointed a fake gun at several people while driving northbound on Highway 1 yesterday afternoon and doing the same thing on 41st Avenue and in one of the parking lots at the Capitola Mall. A plan that would keep the Salinas homeless shelter open for at least 5 more months only needs 2 more groups to okay it. Salinas city leaders and the board of directors for the Franciscan Workers of Junipero need to approve an agreement that Monterey County supervisors unanimously okayed yesterday. If approved, expanded services would begin May 30th and run through October 30th of this year. A 30-year-old woman suffered minor injuries when she was hit by a car in Watsonville last night. That incident occurred on the 1900 block of Main Street near the CVS store. Time now 36 minutes after 5 p.m. More local news for you coming up at the top of the hour. For KSCO, I'm Susan Simon.
You're listening to AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz. The time is 5:36. I need to learn how to tell time. Sorry about that, you guys. Let's do traffic and weather. Your weather forecast for tonight is for patchy drizzle and fog after 2 a.m. Cloudy conditions as well. Lows will be around 53 degrees tomorrow. Patchy drizzle and fog in the morning. Mostly cloudy by noon. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s. And your boaters forecast for this evening. West winds 5 to 15 knots. Wind waves 1 to 3 feet. West swells 3 to 5 feet at 11 seconds. The time now 5:38 as we move on to traffic. Highway 1 stop and go in Santa Cruz, southbound at 41st Avenue. Slow moving through Coyote Valley, southbound 101, 10 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour, heading into Seaside, northbound Highway 1. You're listening to AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz Flight 1080. Back after this really brief traffic commercial update.
The Ebb and Flow River Arts Celebration is coming soon, Friday, June 2nd, for art making, dance, and fun on Cooper Street in downtown Santa Cruz. At 9 p.m., join the Night Walk along the San Lorenzo River, led by a jazz band, and see LED-lit aerial dancers and sculptures. Then, on June 3rd, flow into the Kinetic Art Parade at noon on the Riverwalk from Kaiser Arena to the Tannery Arts Center. A full day of family-friendly fun, dance, art, music, food, and celebration. Sponsored by KSCO, Santa Cruz County Bank, and Sutter Maternity and Surgery Center. Go to artscouncilsc.org. See you there.
Hi, folks. It's Jim Peterson of Solar for America by Peterson Dean. And how many ads do you hear out there right now on solar companies discounting, discounting, discounting? What does American style mean? Look, the guys out there heavily discounting do not sell you panels made in America. They're made in Mexico and Malaysia. That's a fact. How do you start a relationship with a solar company that lies to you right off the bat? Then they want to have a 20-year relationship with you when they've lied and cheated on you from the word say go? I'll never do that to you at Solar for America. It's always American made by Americans 100% of the time. Roof, solar, backup battery, and home fencing. We don't discount the heck out of our products because we want to be here for you when you need us down the road. I've been doing nothing but roofing and solar since I was 16 years old. This is all I know. I don't lie to you. I'll always build you the best American-made roof, solar, backup battery, or fence money can buy. Give me a call today at 888-389-1249. 888-389-1249. Again, Solar for America, 888-389-1249. CSLB 468-117.
You're listening to KSCO, serving SoCal, Soledad, and Lucia.
Sorry, yo, Brando. Here we go. Intellect intelligent, where your mother says intellect intelligence, so bigger than the elephants. Flying like a pelican, your mind I can tell it. Lettuce in the relish, flying like a pelican. Intellect intelligent, where your mother says intellect intelligent, but sorry, yo, we're hungry men. Living for the righteous, keeping on your brain numb again. Classified as secrecy, gonna be some enemies. Want to position that a king is among the beasts. Situated heavyweight, them chicks wanna kick it too. Whooping some naughty talk. She from the avenue, was 5 o'clock already. The sky looks a little red. Use your imagination now, you can comprehend. Penetrate the barriers like you talk to Jezebel. Dust off a shoulder, cause the game, yeah, I know it well. My mind's in another world. Just like
479-1080. You're listening to AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz. Boy, Billy, I got lost in some kind of time warp, some kind of alternate dimension, some kind of parallel universe.
Time machine.
Boy, that was weird. That was bizarre. 479-1080. Speaking of time travel, Billy, you're always saying time travel is not possible, right?
That's right.
Always saying.
Always
right,
saying
Ben?
that.
He's always saying time travel is not possible.
That and
always raining on your parade.
I'm a scientist.
That and beam me up. Those two things will
I'm an
never
author.
occur.
What is he always saying, Ben? I'm an author. I know time travel is not possible.
Well, he wants to be like Sean Hannity.
I do.
Oh, yes, yes.
And like Savage. And like O'Reilly.
You know, I think I might have lost the story here.
Yell at people and make them angry.
Yeah.
Why is that what you want to do, Billy?
Well, you know, I was talking about that at the dog park today too. We were discussing the ability to change people's minds versus what I like to do, which is just vex them, just get them, to realize how wrong they are. Even
Just
though I
piss
know
them off, right?
I can't fix them. If I can't fix them, I want them at least to feel troubled.
Are you sure you don't make people more deep-seated in their beliefs?
I think I probably
I
do.
think you probably have some of that effect.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
I have a story here somewhere that I think I lost, Ben.
But why should the right wing only have, be the only people with tough guys on their side? Shouldn't there be a tough lefty?
What, you don't think
You care
Anderson
about that,
Cooper
yeah.
is tough?
Yeah, right. I don't.
What do you care about being tough, Billy?
I just think we need, I just think that certain people need defense at certain times when people are being aggressive. Somebody else who's capable of being aggressive has to step in.
Wait, who needs help?
Anybody who has to face off against
Savage
or Hannity or all those right wing nuts. They need a left wing nut.
You know what I mean? Like people like poor people who are on food stamps and other
You do need
other
a left
programs
nut
getting
and a
marked
right
for
nut.
tax.
Yeah, right.
Huh?
Nothing.
I didn't hear it. I missed it.
479-1080. You want to talk about mice traveling through space, or do you want to talk about penis transplants?
Dude, I was just talking about the left nut and the right nut, and now we're going to go to that one?
Well,
I'm lost.
Penis transplant?
On mice that are in space?
No. This story
No,
is
now
out.
you're
This
combining
story.
the stories.
This story is out of Africa.
Out of Africa.
Where apparently a ritual that
this is
adolescent
African ritual.
Adolescent men go through, in which they are
This guy
circumcised.
was 23 when he did it.
They're circumcised at spear point.
Oh.
And then they're sent off into the woods or the jungle. I don't know
For
what
a week.
What do they have? Woods? The woods sent out to the woods in Africa.
Yeah.
So they send them out there to the woods, and sometimes they get infected. It happens as a
Sure.
matter of fact. They have to amputate 250 times per year the guy's penis.
Action.
Yeah.
Johnson.
Yeah. 17 years ago, that's what happened to this guy.
Wow.
He recently received a penis transplant.
Oh, good.
He's from Africa.
He is South
They
African.
gave
He's
him a white penis.
South African. He's.
They gave him a white penis.
They give him a white penis. Yeah, he's on. He's
So it's
black.
small and white. Oh, no.
Well, the good news is that they're going to tattoo it to make it blend the same color.
Oh, good.
They
Yeah.
got to do surgical tattooing to make it
What are they going
blend.
to do, though, to get it to,
Billy, what do you want from me, dude? I don't know. I didn't think.
Remember,
about
Billy,
I want it all.
this guy went 17 years without anything.
I
So
know. Imagine that. Your best years, too.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's a little late. You know, if somebody gave me one now, well, what good would it be to me?
Let's see.
I think you would still appreciate
I'd
it,
find
Billy.
a way.
Okay.
I'd find
250 penile amputations every year due to traditional circumcision rituals.
I thought it was just the women they circumcised.
As an initiation rite, young men are circumcised with the spear tip, then sent into the wilderness for weeks, during which time infection often sets in. The transplant procedure requires reconnecting tiny blood vessels, nerves, muscles, and the urethra, and making sure the blood flow can flow for sexy time. It's complicated by cost, a lack of donors, and obviously a lack of donors.
Yeah.
And the
I'll
need
give
to
you
use
one
medical
of my kidneys, but I'll tell you what I'm not going to give you. I only have one of them.
and the need to use medical tattooing to match skin tones.
Okay. What a world we're living in.
479-1080. 218-5726. Somebody sent this text in, Billy, and it says, all black jurors means that Bill Cosby is innocent. Ask OJ.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I'll move on to the next story. Tom Cruise, Top Gun Part 2. You care about that?
Couldn't care
Do
less.
we care about this?
No.
It was a big hit.
Yeah, but so, do you
Hey,
care
Dave,
about movies
I got
that
a
much? at this
question
point?
really quick.
Yes.
So one of our callers wanted to know when the Veterans Take Charge show goes on. Do you know?
I believe that is on Sundays.
Sunday at around 4, I think.
Yeah, it's Sundays around this time. If you listen to maybe a
Yeah.
little bit earlier, around 4 o'clock, I think is a good
Around
time
4 to 6, something like that.
tune in.
And
Yeah,
that's a good show.
If you
Those
go to,
those guys are interesting.
If you go to ksco.com, I'm sure you can find all the pre-recorded shows as well as information about when they'll when their show is.
You know, think about it. We
when
have
the
some
show
interesting
airs.
shows here. We've got a Veterans Take Charge.
Mhm.
We've got the science show, which I love, The Futures. And so, you know, some different kinds
Cannabis
of things.
Connection?
Cannabis Connection. We got the crazy stuff that...
Wagner and Winnick. That's a good show.
Yeah, sure. Our English friend.
Who?
Neil.
Oh, Neil. Yes.
Perberg.
I thought you were talking about Ruth. Ruth
Right,
Coughlin.
right. Ruth Coughlin.
She has a show on the
I
weekends.
never
too.
see those weekend people.
Yeah, we
I don't know who they are. I wouldn't know them if I was standing over them, which is what I tend to do with people because I'm taller than they are.
Did we cover what I think was my favorite detail about this penis transplant story?
You have a favorite detail?
Yeah, actually, and I think it's one of the best details about this whole thing. He is apparently in the hospital ward that he's staying in right now, one of the happiest patients. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, he's one of the happiest patients there. Because even though it might be two-toned, he might be like a...
like a zebra.
Like a zebra, or like some Neapolitan ice cream.
Sort of like
right?
a
Some
panda,
kind of
I
like
guess.
swirls. I don't know.
I'm glad he's not listening to this.
Yeah.
We're making fun of the poor guy.
Well, you know what?
No, we're happy. We're happy. We're celebrating.
Yeah, and
We're
actually,
celebrating. That's right.
after getting his penis back for the first time in 17 years, he is very happy too, and I think that's cool.
Where did it come? Where did it come from? That thing. Where did it from? From whom did that?
Loretta Bobbitt. She collects them.
Yeah.
Remember Loretta Bobbitt?
Damn, I remember that.
There's no man that doesn't remember Loretta Bobbitt. It's like seared into your memory.
Here
the
it
fact that could happen just scared everybody completely into their own wives.
We have a story that isn't quite like that, but it's a woman who's very upset at her ex, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Here's that story I was telling you about earlier, Billy.
Yeah.
Jews can eat bacon.
Yeah. How's that?
A group of biblical scholars makes the argument that the book of Leviticus in the Third Old Testament that lays down various laws dictating how
Leviticus
Jewish
is the
people...
worst.
Is it really?
Yeah.
should live. Wasn't actually meant for the laity. What does that mean? The layman?
Yeah.
For the laity.
It's
Rather...
right, just for the coin.
Right.
The high priests.
They contend it was meant for the priests of the temple.
Right.
Though historically only chapter 21 has been interpreted as applying to only priests, including a ban on ritual scarring and tattoos. The other
Yes.
rules have long been extended to everyone of the Jewish faith, including the decree that only meat from an animal that has a cloven hoof that is completely split into double hooves, and which brings up its cud.
Ridiculous.
That's so bizarre.
That is weird.
It's ridiculous.
Who
Well,
talks like that?
Biblical
people from
people?
3,000 years ago. That's who talks like that.
So Jews are not supposed to eat bacon or have tattoos? Is that...
Well, we used to think tattoos. Again, if you're not a high priest, you can get tattoos. It's only for the high priest class. I happen to be of that class. They're called coins, like Kohen coins. And
Like the Coen brothers?
There's an Israelite, which is the sort of general class, and then Levites. There's 3 types.
So
of
how
Jews.
did you get to be of that class? You just declared yourself?
Yeah, are you a high priest?
Yes.
You're not a high priest.
Well, I am by.
Getting high doesn't
I am
count,
by
Billy.
birth.
Right? I mean, that doesn't count.
You have to actually be a priest.
Right. You're. All right. I mean, if you.
No, it's passed on. It's a family thing. My father and his father, that kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah.
So are you like a bitter disappointment?
Probably to everyone who's ever known me, most likely. Certainly to my parents.
Boy, that's real.
I don't know. When I was living on the ocean, I thought maybe this is it. I brought my parents out to see. Look where I live. I am a king of California. I live, on a cliff, on the ocean.
No,
right next to that other king.
Temple.
And that other king, right?
Bill Hyam.
There can only be one king.
Yeah, well, we're all kings. The rest of us are little princes who get to live within blocks of the ocean. But to live on the ocean, you have to be a king of California.
What did your parents call you? They call you William?
No, Bill. Billy,
Oh.
Bill, I don't know. I don't remember.
You don't remember what your parents called you?
My parents called me. I have no memories.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Let's see who's up next.
So wait, but if you're a high priest, shouldn't you not be eating bacon?
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm also an atheist, and I don't follow any of those rules. I was born a Jew, and I studied, and I did all of that stuff. And I'll always be a Jew in the eyes of anti-Semites, and so therefore I will.
What about in the eyes of yourself? Who cares what other people think of you?
I don't know if you'll be a
haven't
high
you learned
priest
that
in the
lesson by
eyes
now?
of
Well, no. See, if you know about the Holocaust, that's an issue. I won't leave the Jews as long as there's someone. They need me to fight for them, So I can't.
You just want to
leave
fight for anybody.
Yeah, that's right.
I want to fight for anybody who's on the right side of things, sure. Because I
479-1080.
can. I'm not afraid. I believe I should lend myself.
Billy Sunshine, here to fight for your right.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
party.
To party.
All right, let's head out to the Live Oak. Troy, you're in the air.
Hi. Yeah,
Hey.
I just wanted to comment. Yeah, Lorena Bobbitt. I remember when that happened. I was like 21 years old, and not really very conscientious about the going-ons in the world, and that got seared in my mind.
Exactly.
And on that note, for segment, you should play Detachable Penis. Thank you.
Thank you.
479-1080.
We need to hear from the other Troy. I thought he would be here today.
No, that's okay. He's fine where he's at.
He was going to bring us a salmon.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Salmon?
Yeah, I was going to share a salmon with you guys.
Oh.
Here's another one. Report says Trump media coverage has been historically negative.
Yeah, well, why would it be anything other than that?
Because the media is biased.
Because he's doing such a good job?
A new report from Harvard Kennedy School's Shorenstein Center on Media, Politics, and Public Policy finds that the media coverage of Trump's first 100 days in office is historically negative.
And hysterically negative as well.
That's pretty good, Billy. The report analyzed print editions of the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and the Washington Post, as well as the main newscasts from CBS, CNN, Fox News, NBC, plus the UK's Financial Times, BBC, and Germany's public service broadcaster ARD. Interestingly, the report points
That's a
out...
pretty extensive
yeah, no kidding.
List of publications.
Trump received far more coverage and far more positive coverage than did his Republican rivals. That changed when he got the nomination, and there you go.
Yeah,
So it did seem like the media was cheering him on all the way through the primaries. I mean,
they gave him the presidency, and now they're giving him a hard time.
You didn't see that, Ben? You didn't see the media was cheering him on through the
It definitely seemed like he
primaries?
got a lot of coverage. I wouldn't say that was necessarily positive coverage, though.
But it was coverage. The fact is that when you would tune in, even if he wasn't on, they would show you an empty podium in a corner of the screen, like they're waiting for him to come speak, like it's important.
That is true.
They gave him so much airtime that they literally.
But again,
maybe
it wasn't
they should be put
necessarily
on
positive airtime.
Maybe they're the ones that should be accused of tampering with the voting process. I mean,
I wouldn't call it tampering, but I would call it handling it poorly.
I mean, what effect did the Russians have on the voting process, really? I mean, didn't the media, if you want to look at it that way, didn't the media have a much bigger hand in steering the election process?
I blame Facebook.
Huh?
Well, but the media is American. It's
so
our media.
Well, that's okay.
So we're allowed to sway ourselves.
That's fine.
We're the ones who pay
for
it.
Actually, I don't think any organization is allowed to tamper with American politics.
Tamper,
right?
no. But, you're allowed to plead your case.
Who had more influence, do you think, Billy, on the American public, the Russians or the American media?
The American media.
Ben? Who do you think had more influence on the American voter, the Russians or the American media?
Well, that's an interesting question, because if you look at it, it seems to me like most of conservatives would say, "Oh, I don't listen to the media. I don't follow the media, the lamestream media." So you're talking about like half of the voting population that doesn't even pay attention to the media. Even with that, I would say the media definitely had a bigger influence on the election.
But the media is influenced by what Russia was doing to us, so it's not something you can like really separate completely.
But the other thing,
I didn't hear too much about Russia during the election.
But it wasn't about Russia; it was about us. But it was about like Hillary's emails. Hearing all that about Hillary's emails with the help of the Russians.
Yeah, but who put the stories out there? It was the media. Our media put it out there, right?
But they were being tempted by stuff from that
they were getting played. They were getting played as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would also say that the Russians influenced the election with a clear-cut agenda, right? I mean, they had a reason and a purpose.
What was it to get to
Hillary
make sure,
lose and Trump win?
To make sure that she loses
and he wins.
And he wins.
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely. Look how good it's been so far for them. He gives them top secret information.
How good has it been for them? I mean, have they ended up in a better place than they were before the election, Ben? Do you
Russia?
Think?
Yeah, they're getting away with murder.
How?
I don't know enough specifically about it to say that they're in a better place one way or the other. But definitely it seems like Trump and Putin, even when they were campaigning, Trump talked about, we'll have this improved relationship with Russia. It'll be a good thing. I don't think that Vladimir Putin and Hillary Clinton were the biggest of fans of each other.
As a matter of fact, he said that he was upset with her, right? He was really bent on revenge for something that she did to him. I don't remember what the story was, but I do remember that
either,
now.
But yes, he was out to get her.
He was out to get her.
And he was out to get Trump to win, both.
Okay. All right.
So I would say, about this question, who influenced the election more, the media or Russia?
Yeah, we'll throw that question out there too.
I would say, yeah, absolutely. The media rightfully does have more effect on the election and the campaign process. But again, they don't really have an agenda. I mean, it isn't like the media is trying to swing us in one direction.
Well, their agenda, I think, is ratings. Right?
Well, but you have a counterbalance to Fox.
Yeah.
That's my point. If you take the media as a whole, you have a very wide diversity of opinions and different
not really.
agendas.
Here's one thing you don't have. You don't have a diversity of dollars. Everybody who owns media is a rich fat cat.
Well, no, actually, with the web nowadays, you have sort of underground and less mainstream media. I mean, you have
So you do consider Breitbart
is that fake news? I mean, some of those organizations
are totally fake.
Are fake.
Well, they don't have the
World
funding.
Max is not telling you the truth.
They don't have the same funding, so I would say they're just because they don't have the same resources, they're probably less reputable. But there is some undercover journalism or whatever you want to call it.
All this talk about fake news and targeting fake news and shutting down fake news makes me fearful, and I'm just cautious that we don't, along with all those fake news sites, get rid of the sites that you're talking about, Ben, the startups, the small guy who is reporting honestly.
That's how Trump has damaged this country. They've made it so you can't trust in the institutions. You need to not believe that there's all this fake news. You need to know that
it didn't exist before Trump was elected.
Not so much. That's part of what the Russians were doing, putting all this fake news in there. They were like paying people to put anti-Hillary.
I cleaned out my bed. I cleaned out my room, and I pulled a whole bunch of stuff out from under my bed. In between the mattress, I pulled out all the money that I have. Obviously, that's where I stashed it all.
Find any smokables?
And no, I didn't.
All right.
And I found this big old stack of newspapers, which I love to collect, and it's the Sun and the Inquirer and all this stuff. And that's all fake news, and those papers are old.
Yeah.
I think fake news has been around for a long time.
Well, Alien ate my baby.
Yes. Oh, I love you. Got that one too? Bat Boy. I love those stories. I love those stories. Dick Cheney got a head transplant from an alien. He was abducted.
Well, he doesn't have a heart. We know that.
Bat Boy, was that like that viral picture?
Yeah. Bat Boy.
That was the most bizarre thing. Did anyone ever figure out what that was?
I don't know, dude, but he's got a family, and I think they're delivering paper in North Dakota.
In a world where with Photoshop, no one can ever figure out what anything is ever again.
I don't think that was Photoshop, though.
Why?
Well, it happened before Photoshop, I think, got that good.
No.
Billy, do you know what nipple pasties are?
Yeah, sure.
You do?
Yeah.
How do you know what nipple pasties are?
I watch television.
I must be watching the wrong damn thing.
For example, remember the Michael Jackson's sister?
Yes.
Janet.
And
remember the Super Bowl?
Right.
That was a nipple pasty. that was revealed.
That was a malfunction.
That was a nipple. She showed her nipple, didn't she?
No, but it was.
Can you even say nipple on the radio?
There was a pasty, a kind of
I don't know. Maybe we should
aureola
stick to areola.
effect.
Can we say nipple on the air, Billy?
No,
You know?
but you can say aureola.
Nipple.
You can say it if you're talking
Okay,
about
areola.
a baby's
nipple, baby bottle.
Bottle. Yeah.
Nipple pasties.
Nipple pasties. Yes.
Cher, age 71, was sporting nipple pasties during Sunday night's Billboard Music Awards. And I tell you what, Billy.
Right on.
She looked pretty good, man. I mean, for 71.
So you're a
wow.
much younger man. Would you be willing to be her lover?
Oh, Billy, I mean, that's put me on the spot
Personal
there, dude.
question. Share with your audience. What do you think? Have you had it? Have you ever had an affair with a much older woman? I lived with a woman who was 12 years older than me for a while.
Yeah, but that's
when I was a young man.
We're talking here about like 30 years, yeah?
Yeah, dude, she'd be like 30 years my elder. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Exactly.
4791080.
Life is a life. It's experiences.
Sure.
Don't you want to do everything?
Well, he's a guy after all.
Yeah, 4791080. We're going to break for CBS News. This time I could take off for a few minutes, right?
Now you have some time.
Jeez. And then I'm going to get back to you, Billy, about time travel and
mouse sperm.
And mouse. Oh, he didn't hear that. So yeah, we're going to talk about time travel and maybe a way to get around time travel.
All right.
All right? KSCO Santa Cruz Flight 1080.
Like a pelican, intellect intelligent, where your mother's smooth like some served in the sport to the different frantic, just with some oatmeal, with a touch of little randy, cooking woman's everything. Hey y'all, get involved, take sisters, murder law, tell your grandma, I take it to another level, every track I get up on, this is all Crandall, the new style phenomenon, what up with a woman who was feeling all the things I say, girl, I'm on another verse, girl, you love me, her, and that's
CBS News, I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The Congressional Budget Office has done the math and says the revised Republican health care plan would leave more Americans uninsured by the year 2026 than Obamacare. CBS's Bill Rakoff has reaction from Capitol Hill.
Republican Senator James Langford disputes the figure of 23 million Americans who will be uninsured in 10 years.
How they get to that 24 million people, which is also a surprise to me, is that there are only 9 million people right now on the exchanges. They expect well over 10 million people to suddenly start buying a product they haven't bought already.
Senator Bernie Sanders says the bill is a disaster for middle-class Americans.
It is not a health care bill when you force older workers to pay 2, 3, 4 times more for the health care that they currently get.
Bill Rakoff, CBS News, Washington.
It is a fast-moving investigation in Manchester, England, where 7 people have now been arrested after Monday night's suicide bombing that killed 22 people at an Ariana Grande concert. CBS's Mark Phillips in Manchester.
The latest is developing by the hour here. The police had originally said, immediately or very soon after the bombing, that they believed it was the work of one man, but everything that they have discovered since and all of the raids that they've been making all around Manchester and elsewhere as well, has indicated that, in fact, there may have been this network of support.
Police say the bomber's 18-year-old brother is under arrest. Another brother and their father have been detained in Libya. President Trump is in Brussels for a meeting with European leaders tomorrow. CBS's Cammie McCormick with a preview.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says President Trump will try to persuade NATO members to increase their defense spending. He also says the Manchester bombing will strengthen the resolve of the alliance against extremism.
I think the horrible attack in Manchester just reminded all of us why we have to do this.
That resolve could also include NATO participation in the fight against Islamic State. NATO isn't currently part of the coalition.
There's a special election in Montana tomorrow to fill an open U.S. House seat. The Republican candidate is making news tonight for allegedly body slamming a reporter to the floor after the reporter asked him about the GOP health care plan.
Speak with Shane, please.
But you got sick and tired of you guys. The last time that came in here, you did the same thing. Get the hell out of here.
The local sheriff's office is investigating. John Fort denies the allegations. His campaign spokesman says he was in a private office giving an interview when the reporter entered without permission. A new round of severe weather sweeps through the South. CBS's Jim Krasula.
The National Weather Service has confirmed storm damage in Newberry County, South Carolina, and near the small town of Prosperity, South Carolina. Emergency management officials have confirmed storm damage in numerous counties in the foothills of North Carolina. The severe weather threat for the Carolinas will continue into Thursday.
Dow up 74. This is CBS News.
A few years ago, my wife and I went shopping for amazing quality luxury bedding we could actually afford. And what did we find? Nothing. Hi, I'm Scott Tannen. Missy and I started Bull & Branch because we want you to be able to afford the best bedding in the world. By cutting out the middlemen and only selling online at bullandbranch.com, our award-winning sheets cost less than half of designer brands and are twice the quality. Every set is crafted from 100% organic cotton. They get softer and softer over time. That's why we have thousands of 5-star reviews, and even 3 U.S. presidents have Bull & Branch sheets. There's no risk. Try them for 30 nights. If you don't love them, send them back for a full refund. Go to bullandbranch.com today for $50 off your first set of sheets, plus free shipping when you use promo code SLEEP. That's $50 off, plus free shipping right now at bullandbranch.com. Promo code SLEEP. bullandbranch.com, spelled B-O-L-L, and branch.com. Promo code SLEEP.
Google may know more about you than you think.
Google is watching you, watching what you buy, not just online, but in brick and mortars, too. New tool allows Google to track just how much money you spend in the store after clicking on a digital ad. Company believes the data will show a cause and effect relationship between online ads and offline sales, which could help persuade merchants to increase digital marketing budgets. In the end, it means Google is getting an even greater digital profile of its users, you and me. Jim Taylor, CBS News.
Good news from a Rolling Stone.
Oh, help me, please, doctor.
A spokesperson for Ronnie Wood says doctors have successfully removed a lesion from the guitarist's lung. Soon-to-be 70-year-old says it will not affect the Stones' upcoming tour, which kicks off in September. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Wouldn't it be great if you could stop crime before it happens? With the Ring Floodlight Cam, you can. I'm Jamie Siminoff, inventor and founder of Ring. Floodlight Cam is a motion-activated HD security camera that connects right to your phone, so you're alerted when anyone steps onto your property. You can now see, speak, or even sound an alarm right from your phone, anywhere, anytime. Does your floodlight prevent crime? Ours does. Go to ring.com/advantage and save $150 off of a Ring of Security kit. That's ring.com/advantage.
Finding great people to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's time to try ZipRecruiter, where 80% of jobs get a qualified candidate in just one day. How? Using powerful technology, ZipRecruiter matches your job to the right candidates fast. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/talk for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/talk.
Good afternoon, everyone. You're listening to AM 1080 KSEO Santa Cruz, AM 1340 KOM Wireless, Seville Beach, Watsonville. The time is now 6:06. We've got traffic and weather for you. We start off with traffic. Southbound 1 at 41st Avenue here in Santa Cruz is stop and go. Speed's definitely looking better. Just after 41st, 10 to 15 miles per hour for the rest of your trip into Aptos. Highway 101 southbound speeds 10 miles per hour through Coyote Valley. Your weather forecast for tonight: patchy drizzle and fog. Cloudy conditions as well. Lows will be around 53 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy throughout the day. Highs will reach the lower to mid 60s. Your Monterey Bay boaters forecast for tonight: west winds 5 to 15 knots, wind waves 1 to 3 feet, and west swells 3 to 5 feet at 11 seconds. Traffic and weather brought to you by the Santa Cruz Sentinel. Serving Santa Cruz for over 150 years. The number to call for their special deal is 706-3261. 3 deals designed for KSCO listeners, and we'll have more on that on the other side of the news break. We're going to hand it over to Rich right now. He's standing by. Oops, let me fire this off. Hold on. There we go. KSEO News Time now 6:07. Richard has your headlines. Take it away, Rich.
Thank you, Dave. The 12-year-old King City girl who posted a recent threat on Instagram that she was going to shoot down the school won't face charges. The King City police chief said the girl will probably serve probation but not be incarcerated because she realized what a bad mistake it was and took the post down almost immediately and was remorseful. Jurors in Santa Cruz County Court found a man guilty of shooting and killing another man. 31-year-old Damian Baxter was convicted yesterday of shooting and killing 33-year-old Jesus Roca at an apartment complex on Palm Avenue in Santa Cruz in 2015. Baxter is scheduled to be sentenced on July 26 and faces up to 11 years in prison. Memorial Day is coming up, and KSCO spoke with California Highway Patrol Officer Stephen Tanguay about what their focus will be this weekend.
We'll be focusing on primary collision factors such as speed and DUI. We'll be looking for distracted drivers and also people that are not using their restraint systems or seatbelts. Traditionally, on holiday weekends, we have what's called a maximum enforcement period, where we will put out the majority of our force on the road for that time period.
Officer Tankway went on to say that they are currently enforcing their Click It or Ticket campaign. Officers will be taking an extra look to make sure all passengers are wearing seat belts. The campaign began on May 22nd and will go on until June 4th. The City of Santa Cruz's second annual State of the City meeting was held last night. City leaders discussed several key issues, including homelessness, housing, the city's budget deficit, and aging infrastructure. City leaders will be hosting small neighborhood meetings throughout the year, as well as increasing their presence on social media, in an effort to connect with the public and receive input on community issues. This is Richard Maroney for KSCO Radio.
Does your business do shipping and receiving? Or maybe you're packing up to move across town? Coast Paper and Supply meets all your needs at affordable prices. We have boxes of all shapes and sizes, as well as a variety of packing tape and tape guns. For your fragile items, we carry bubble wrap, shipping peanuts, and Astrofoam. Shipping in bulk, we carry pallets and pallet wrap. You can find Coast Paper and Supply at 151 Josephine Street or at coastpapersupplyinc.com. You can also call us at 831-423-3350.
Healthcare that fits your Santa Cruz lifestyle. That's why Dignity Health Dominican Hospital and Dignity Health Medical Group Dominican work with you to make personal choices regarding your health. It's the type of care we can offer because we're more than just a hospital and medical group. We're part of this community. Visit DominicanHospital.org to find a doctor and start living healthy today. Healthcare that fits your Santa Cruz lifestyle. Dignity Health. Hello, human kindness.
Recently on Good Morning Monterey Bay.
Last night we had
pizza. We had pizza and we, ate it out of the box.
With paper plates, ladies and gentlemen.
Rosie had plates warmed up in the oven, ready to go. As is her style. Lovely dishware plates ready to go. I think no, we just eat it out of the box. We just go. We don't wait. We just tuck in. We got some paper plates and some napkins over there. It's all good.
I did acquiesce and have a knife and fork.
Did you enjoy the pizza?
I did, actually. I did. I mean, I couldn't eat as much of it as you ate, but I did enjoy it because the option was lamb with asparagus or pizza. But being as how it was the last night, it was like.
And you know how I love asparagus, so.
Yes. I think any vegetable, actually, Donald, as the truth may be.
Objection.
Overruled.
Don't miss Good Morning Monterey Bay weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. on KSCO. And listen anytime on the KSCO mobile app.
You're listening to KSCO, serving Aptos, Sand City, and Bitterwater.
Take all your troubles and get out of here. Go on now, better put it in gear. never knew just how to feel. Tried so hard to keep it real. He said maybe time would tell, like coins in the bottom of a wishing well. Told me I'd be your only boy, and love would be some kind of joy. Ain't gonna need you hanging around. Go on now, put the pedal down. If you wanna know who's wrong, who's right, listen to the wind around midnight. Don't call me baby, it's over
Four 706-3261. That's the number I want you guys to call to get the special deal from the Santa Cruz Sentinel. Sundays only for 26 weeks. You can get it for less than $1 per edition. 706-3261. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for 13 weeks. You're going to pay less than 50 cents per day. 706-3261. 7 days a week, Billy, for 2 months. You're going to pay about 35 cents a day. 706-3261. That's how you take advantage of that special.
Look, you got to follow Steve's advice. He tells you, read the paper, look at the internet, call 479-1080, call KSEO, and argue with Billy Sunshine. That's it.
No.
Steve's telling you how to do it.
I don't know if that's what he's telling you. I think he tells you to listen to Flight 1080, even if you have to argue with Billy Sunshine.
Well, if you only listen, then you don't have to argue. But if you call in to talk and give us your opinion, you might have to argue.
Yeah, I think
Billy
you're right.
Sunshine.
I think he does say call in.
Right.
479-1080.
Thank you, Stephen.
Hey, you know what, Ben? I lost my story about the mouse.
I got it here.
Sperm. Do you really have it there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to miss that headline. So this is a story about a experiment that was recently conducted, I believe, by Japanese or Chinese researchers?
Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, Japanese researchers. 9 months in space, mouse sperm has yielded healthy mice.
Huh?
The freeze-dried sperm samples were launched in 2013 to the International Space Station and returned to Earth in 2014.
So in other words, this is about the fact that at some point we may have to save the human race by taking a whole bunch of either sperm or embryos, off, for the long trip to Mars or who knows where, and shows that they'll be viable.
That's what I was saying, Ben. That's exactly what Ben.
This proves it.
You took the wind right out of my sails, Billy. Now there's no use of. But that story's over.
Mice are a lot different from humans, aren't they?
I don't know.
By the way, you could check us out on live stream if you want to see Dave crumpling up his news story and throwing them at Billy.
I'm not pouting.
If you want to see Dave pouting, check us out. We're on YouTube today. If you go to KSCO Global, that's our YouTube channel.
Okay, so two things struck me when I read this story, Billy. I was thinking, number one, wow, now we can actually travel to distant planets, right? And not have to worry about time travel because
we might send mice to distant planets.
You might be right about time travel or whatever. Well, people though. This is the first step towards launching people. And then I started thinking, holy cow, this might be about the existence of our species.
It could be, yeah.
And launching ourselves to a different solar system or whatever, however many generations it takes.
And that's what it'll be.
And then
you have to take a generation ship because it's that far to travel.
Maybe even 4, 5, 10 generations.
Well, that's it. The fact is that all those people on the ship, their families, are going to go. But then also you would take with you all the representations of everything you could.
You don't take the families with you. That's what I'm telling you, Billy. What you do is you build a spaceship. You could build a spaceship the size of this table, launch it off into space, fill it up with the samples that you need,
and just have it explode open. And
I guess that's not what I was.
Someone raise the babies.
I think that's
explode open. No, I was thinking
just see what happens.
Spread the seed everywhere. I thought.
No, you have a robot on board who could do this procedure, right? And
Billy,
mix everything.
I don't think that's how human reproduction works. You can just throw.
I don't have any children, so I'm unclear on this.
You just spray.
Now I know why.
I I was thinking this is an alternative or a way around time travel, but then I started thinking the bigger picture is what you were talking about, Billy, and that is, we're going to need to find a way
we need to
get off this planet.
Yeah.
I was listening to some guy talking about, what is it, terraforming? Mars.
Yeah.
And he brought up the fact that there's a lot of water on Mars.
Is there?
Yes. It just
Is
happens
it
to be
underground?
frozen and underground, right? So what are some of the ways that you could melt that?
Thermonuclear devices.
Yes. Thermonuclear devices,
I am
right?
the smartest person
So
you know.
you go up there and you just launch, a nuclear weapons or whatever it is, and let that ice melt
and go off into space a little bit and start to form an atmosphere.
Yes. Right, and so what you would
all that science fiction I read did me some good.
You would start, supporting life, plant life,
Yeah.
and all the stuff would just kind of blossom in. But the key to terraforming Mars is getting that water, the frozen water, back to liquid water.
Yeah, absolutely. Water. Can't do it without water.
479-1080.
Yeah, gotta have water.
DM at ksco.com. So you think this story's cool too, huh? Mouse sperm frozen in space.
Yeah,
it's freeze-dried, though. That's bizarre. To me, that's even more amazing than just freezing it regularly.
That reminds me
Freeze-dried
of...
seems
Just
like
means you just add water.
Weren't we reading a story on, I think it was Monday, about a woman who had a thermos with dry ice and sperm in it? She was worried that thing was going to turn into a bomb.
and work like Billy's.
Yeah, she could have repopulated the Earth or whatever. However Billy thinks it works.
Imagine having Billy teach sex ed.
Stop picking on me.
It just explodes. Boom.
I'm
and
already
things-
feeling so dumb because I missed the ultimate investment.
What was that?
So Monday was Bitcoin Pizza Day.
Oh, man, dude.
The anniversary of the day in 2010.
I think we all feel a little bit foolish
when
about this one.
Developer
Yes.
Laszlo Hanyech paid 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas.
What an idiot.
Boy, what would 10,000 Bitcoins be worth today?
$22.5 million.
For 10,000?
22.5? Are you
Yes.
sure?
In fact, a year ago, and this is true, I actually thought about this. I almost made this purchase, and my broker talked me out of it. The currency, which sank to $443 a year ago, today is worth $2,100.
I don't get what that means. So you're telling me that one Bitcoin now is worth $2,100?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
So if I wanted to buy a Bitcoin, it would cost me $2,100.
Right, and if you'd bought it a year ago, you would have spent $445 for it.
That's still too much.
Well, but wouldn't
So
you like to
so
have-
if I was to buy a pizza, let's say I wanted to buy a pizza with a Bitcoin, I would need to spend a quarter of a Bitcoin or an eighth
not
of a
even
Bitcoin.
right, yeah, one.
Well,
Well,
that's
but that's the
stupid.
whole point.
That's
That's
stupid.
what it's about. It's about a currency that is digital, and therefore no government can control it, or even know about it necessarily, and you can cut it and as thin a slice as you need, like 1/100th of a
So it's like
Bitcoin,
virtual
1,000th.
gold coins.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. You got it.
I can understand that concept.
So it's called cryptocurrency.
Okay.
And we need it. People are going to want these kinds of things. And wow, boy, we missed that one.
You're not at all worried that a better version could come out and completely phase Bitcoin out?
Absolutely, that can happen. And the idea, of course, I think what's valuable is not so much the Bitcoin, but the technology behind it. And possibly the next Bitcoin will still use that technology. We'll see. It's a totally speculative area. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how volatile the market is.
Yeah,
Just
it's not
the
an
huge
investment.
raise
It's a
of-
flyer. Yeah, it's a
But
gamble.
I think I don't know if you guys read this one, but I think if you had 100 Bitcoins, or no, it was actually $100 worth of Bitcoins in 2010, today you would have
75 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean, those are the numbers that just make your eyes pop. Anyway, we have, I think, TK and
I didn't see
Freedom
him
on the
there.
line.
All right. Let's get to
TKO.
Let's get to
Technical knockout.
Let's get to TK. All right, TK calling from Freedom. You're in the air.
Guys, love the show. I just wanted to say I'm really happy that Ridley Scott came out with his movie
Yeah.
before this freeze-dried article came out, because I can promise aliens would have sucked if it was freeze-dried. However, you inspired me, and I thought for Dave's rocket ship to save the human race, I thought it needs a good name. And since it's so small, I thought it should have a long name. So I was thinking something like Money Shot Heard Around the Universe. You think that'll work?
Yeah, I like that.
I guess that's a long name.
Billy never agrees with me. It must be a good name.
It's
he
a
always
great
disagrees
name.
with me.
I'm
Thank you,
I'm an
sir.
agreeable cuss.
You're a beautiful person.
And so are you, my friend.
All
As is
right,
all
get a
my
room, you
audience.
guys.
Come on.
Thank you for this call.
Who
TJ.
doesn't love our audience?
What is this? Money Shot Heard Around
the universe.
The universe.
Yeah, because it's not the world anymore.
That's not very good.
No? Okay.
Miss Howe.
Galaxy?
Miss Howe is what the ship would be called.
Oh,
Miss
Miss
Howe.
Howe.
MSHAU. That would be the acronym.
Wow, I used to know a Miss Howe.
What ship is this?
The ship that would save
Ship
the human
with the
race.
dried sperm.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what? I thought that was sort of the coolest thing to me was the possible screenplay that could come out of this sort of scientific revolution, or this idea that you could, I don't know, I mean, I can just imagine a movie where you have the end of the world and you just send the ship off to space and all of that is in there.
That's what my movie's about. 2020 Vision.
So what happens?
Well, what happens is the government was actually building the ship, like the industrial military complex, the worst humans. But we hijacked the ship, sort of the hippies, the artists, the dancers, the poets. We hijacked the ship out from under them, and we sail off into the stars instead of them as the Earth collapses. Who's going to drive the boat? Captain Dave. Who else?
See, I'm thinking of like a ship that's just filled without, I mean, there's no humans on board. It's just robots, and you have the embryos or the sperm and the egg.
Right, we do both.
And
we have people and we have all those embryos, and we also have all the animal embryos so that we can have all the animals.
Can you imagine if you had a group of humans or these embryos that were literally raised by robots on a foreign planet?
Not a good idea.
I think that's a pretty interesting science fiction
I
concept.
think you got to give them
right
a human to raise them.
Well, no, I mean you
I
could
understand.
have the robots who are also trained or designed by humans to nurture in a way that
Maybe
a
they can
human
look
would.
like humans too. They can be androids, so they resemble humans. Because I don't think babies want to although we know a goose is willing to think its mother is a pig.
I'm just saying that is such an interesting science fiction concept. What humans would be like if they were raised
by robots.
The same guy I was listening to was pointing out his opinion was that humans will never fully accept artificial humans. We will never actually fully believe that is a human over there.
Well, yeah, why would you?
Because of facial recognition, we are impossible.
I heard a
to
very
fool.
interesting study about that, and basically they conducted it with monkeys, and they showed real monkeys pictures of both real and then artificial monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
And when the real life monkeys saw the pictures of like these artificial monkeys, they would freak out, and the artificial monkeys made them very upset.
Right.
It sort of just triggered something
They
in
could
them.
see
and
that they were
like,
dead, that there was no life to them.
yeah, they were just like, oh, this is wrong, and I'm gonna start reacting to it.
But the other part of it is, as a scientist put it, is that it is part of what he calls the caveman reaction, and that is that you need to see the evidence. You need to be absolutely certain. Your life depends on you being able to identify whether this thing is fake or real.
Mm-hmm.
Humans are not going to be fooled easily into thinking that machine over there is a human. We know that thing's not human. That's how we survived for so long. We were not stupid.
But we want to when it concerns, for example, the sex bot that we like to talk about.
Oh, well, that's just
that's
fun.
something you want to believe.
Sure.
I was going to say, though.
So in that sense, you're willing to.
Sure, you're willing to, but you're not actually getting fooled. You're
Don't
letting
you guys
yourself.
get
Well, it's not survival.
whenever you see like a video of the newest like lifelike android or whatever, the closest thing they have that can replicate a human or whatever, don't you look at that and you think something about that is just wrong looking?
Yes.
It
Yes,
just
but that
looks
won't be
off.
true.
And that's your instinct.
Won't be true 30 years from
Yes,
now.
it will be. It still will be.
We'll see.
Do you think? I think that's Dave's point, though.
Yeah.
I mean, will we ever create something so realistic
No.
that you could
No.
fool the
Or at
human
least not-
eye?
no.
Not according to the scientists. No.
Probably not.
I think you might be onto something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a fascinating.
As far as we know, yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of science to be done yet over the next 1,000 years. That's what I would most like. I would love it if you could sort of freeze dry me for 50 years. Every 50 years, I would like to be able to come out for a weekend and see what the world was like.
I was thinking that too. That would be
I'm
great,
dying
man.
to know
right?
what the future's going to be
Can
like.
you know what? And I was thinking the same darn thing, Billy. When for some reason I was thinking, why aren't I happy every day? Right? I mean, can you imagine if you were so super stoked, like somebody just let out of prison and getting his freedom, or
someone whole new world.
or somebody getting their vision back, or somebody getting
their penis
hearing,
transplanted,
or somebody getting their penis. Somebody, yes, that's a good example. And just being that stoked, being that happy. And the only way I could picture it is if things were so new all the time that you would have that emotion. And yeah, you're right, Billy. Freeze dry me and defrost me every
Like
1,000
Walt
years.
Disney?
Every 1,000 years, just let me out for a weekend and let me
Yeah,
have
just
some
see
fun.
what you've been up to.
And boy, that would be great. That would be great, man.
And one of those times there'd be nothing left. We'd have destroyed ourselves. We'd have all moved to Mars.
479-1080 DM.
And we're
at
being
KSU.
raised by robots.
That's exactly right.
Washington State University is going to pay pay volunteers to smoke pot.
Okay.
I'm in.
Yeah. Where do I sign?
If you pay them, are they still volunteers?
Well, they're volunteering to get paid.
Yeah.
Washington State University researchers are offering to pay volunteers willing to help make America's roads safer and to get really high in the process. As part of a project to develop a more effective breathalyzer test to detect stoned drivers.
See,
they shouldn't do this.
This is wrong.
Don't do this test.
This is wrong.
Volunteers 21 and up will first submit
You're telling people
blood,
21
breath, and
and
mouth
up
swab.
to not get paid to smoke weed?
No, what I'm saying is that the idea of a breathalyzer with weed is the wrong way to go. The presence of weed in your system is not the issue. The issue is whether or not you are impaired. That's the only issue, not whether you smoked in the past week or the past day or anything. Check for impairment. It's about being able to drive, not, being a good boy like Beauregard wants you to be.
Well, don't you think that developing a breathalyzer is a step towards this process, or
no?
It's a step to make sure that we're not just testing people for if they smoked in the last month. It's a more accurate test of when the last time they smoked
What difference
was.
does it make? Again, if I've smoked a second before, I can drive without impairment. Maybe you can or can't. I don't know. But if I can drive without impairment, then, for example, you take other drugs. I take blood pressure medicine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I couldn't drive with my blood pressure medicine, if I'm impaired by my blood pressure medicine, then I shouldn't be on the road.
What about people who can drive when they're a little bit drunk?
Fine. I got to tell you, that's if you, in fact, are not impaired, then you shouldn't be ticketed.
I
like
think that's
one
a sort
drink
of,
is okay, isn't it? One drink is fine. Two drinks might be okay. It's about impairment, not the amount of marijuana
In your opinion, in legal terms, it's about blood alcohol
I'm saying what
content.
it should be about.
Okay.
I think
just want to make
if
that
you
clear.
have one or two drinks, you can still get a wet and reckless, right?
Yes.
Well,
And
if
in order
you're
to get
reckless, you
that,
should.
in order to get that, to get that, you have to be under the influence. You have to be driving erratically.
Exactly, that's
due
the
to
point.
the alcohol. And
That's
maybe
the point.
you're not over that blood alcohol content, but you are driving recklessly because of that, and
You
you're
could
under
just
the
be
influence.
sleepy and
Right.
be a danger.
KSCO Santa Cruz Flight 1080 back after
Congressional
this.
Budget Office says it's added up the numbers in the revised Republican health care bill. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
The Congressional Budget Office concludes that in 10 years, premiums on average, when you look at everybody together, will be slightly lower than they would have been under Obamacare.
The hitch, according to the report, 23 million more Americans would be without coverage than under the current system. Vice President Mike Pence says there's an alternative.
State-based solutions are the best way to give better coverage, better health care.
Independent Senator Bernie Sanders on the House-passed GOP plan.
It is legislation which provides hundreds of billions of dollars in tax breaks for the insurance companies, the drug companies, and other people in the medical industry.
CBS News Update. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
You're listening to AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz. The time is 6:32. Headlines are up next. Richard Maroney is standing by, so we're going to let him take it away.
Thank you, Dave. Former Salinas City Councilman Jose Castaneda was found guilty today of domestic violence. An ex-girlfriend accused Castaneda of stalking, kidnapping, sexual battery, and physically injuring her. The jury deadlocked on the sexual battery charge. Castaneda faces a maximum sentence of 9 years and 8 months in prison. Sentencing is scheduled to be on June 22nd. A woman was arrested this morning in Salinas. Maria Alvarez is believed to be involved with the drug smuggling operation in Monterey. Alvarez joins 4 other people who have already been booked into Monterey County Jail on drug smuggling charges. Additionally, Alvarez faces charges of child endangerment after she stored methamphetamine near a 3-year-old child. Authorities released new information regarding the Santa Cruz doctor and the 2 nurses involved in a child sex abuse case. Detectives reported that Rochelle Brandon of Watsonville and Emily Stevens of Pima, Arizona, are accused of abusing their own children. A total of 7 children have been placed into protective custody. Brandon and neurosurgeon James Kohut, who is also accused of child sex crimes, are scheduled to be in court on Friday. This is Richard Maroney for KSCO Radio.
Hi, registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs here. I've been studying healthy bodies for 35 years, and what I've got to tell you may shock and surprise you, but if you listen up, it may change your life. If you're one of the hundreds of millions of Americans who's gotten a prescription this year, you probably noticed that the text was illegible, and not because of the doctor's calligraphy. Even typewritten scripts are impossible to understand. That's because they're written in Latin. Does your doctor or your pharmacist speak Latin? Probably not. So what could possibly be the purpose of writing instructions and details of something as important, potent, and possibly dangerous in an ancient language that is not only arcane and incomprehensible, but hasn't even been spoken commonly in 2,000 years? A prescription is a critical component of the therapeutic process as well as the physician-patient relationship, and its potential to help or harm makes it one of the most significant of all written communications. At the end of the day, each step of the medical process is supposed to benefit the patient. Pharmaceuticals are powerful chemicals, and their correct use is of the utmost importance. Because most physicians aren't going to be writing scripts in clear, concise English anytime soon, your best bet when you get one from your doctor is to ask him to go over the drug dosage and directions with you, making sure the handwriting is legible. And when you pick up your medication from your pharmacy, look carefully at the bottle to confirm that the information on the label matches up with what you were prescribed. Open the bottle and check your meds for accuracy, and always make sure you understand the directions and possible side effects.
Pharmacist Ben here, urging you to go to kscohealth.com to order Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Healthy Start Pack, and other nutritional supplements that I personally use and recommend. You can purchase these premium quality products at wholesale prices online at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com. I'm the pharmacist that believes that staying healthy and strong is not only about medicine, it's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to do its work. Go to kscohealth.com. Make sure you check out the cool videos too at kscohealth.com. That's kscohealth.com.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi. I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
Well, before I left my campsite, I was putting out my fire, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear showed up and hugged me?
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. He likes it when people correctly put out their campfires. He's pretty big on wildfire prevention. He's just letting you know you did good with a hug. He's a hugger.
I just got a bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update!
All right, I'm going to let you go now. I've got a lot of ranger stuff to do. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service Ad Council and your state forester.
Billy, I need a co-host.
And you're looking at me?
I'm looking at Luigi.
Oh, Luigi, the computer guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Hey,
Luigi, you want to be my co-host?
You mean like on the radio?
Yes, on the radio.
Heck yeah, dude, I'll be on the radio with you. That sounds awesome.
When you do the show on the air, are you going to do it with more than one microphone? Because the noise when you swing it back and forth is kind of annoying.
Squeaky's fine.
All right. When's the show start?
It's going to be Wednesdays from 7 to 8.
KSCO.com.
Don't miss it.
You're listening to KSCO, serving Salinas, San Juan Bautista, and Lockwood.
479-1080. You're listening to Flight 1080 KSEO Santa Cruz, being brought to you in part by Alpha Graphics in Santa Cruz. Design it, copy it, print it, communicate it. To make it easier for you, the professionals at locally owned Alpha Graphics have moved to 105 Whispering Pines in Scotts Valley. Lots of free parking and free delivery. Sell it with the help of Alpha Graphics. For information, alphagraphicssantacruz.com.
Whispering Pines.
479-1080, DM at ksco.com, 218-5726. Ben, my what is this thing that tells us where we're going? My compass
if you were,
is broken. I don't know where the hell we're going.
If you were on
where are we going?
mushrooms or psychedelics, you might hear the pines
awesome.
whisper. I mean, where do they get that idea? Whispering pines.
Because the wind blows through them, Billy, and it sounds like a whisper.
It's like a soft rustling.
Yes, like a soft
thank you.
Nice.
Boy, what are you on, Billy?
Nothing yet, but wait till next week.
Boy, that's plans. A promo if I've ever heard
I have plans. Tune in next week.
Drug survey finds mushrooms are the safest drug.
I have not done much mushrooms.
Really?
I've done very, very little. I did a lot of LSD, but not much mushroom.
A massive drug survey has labeled hallucinogenic mushrooms as the safest recreational drug in the world.
Really? Safer than pot?
Come on, no, that's crazy. Safer than caffeine? No.
Well, that's not a recreational drug, is it?
It is the way he uses it.
Well, I guess, yeah. I mean,
that's
it's
true.
A drug, I mean, right?
He plies himself with it, and then he goes to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's work, not recreation.
Well, look, do you ever see the way he works?
What's that supposed to mean?
Just to what it sounds like.
Drugs like LSD are more potent than magic mushrooms, so it's easy to take too much and have an experience beyond one you're experiencing. Well, I think you could take too much mushrooms.
Well, maybe not. Maybe you just have the same experience.
Well, I think you can.
It's harder to overdose on mushrooms than it is to overdose on other hallucinogens.
Like you can't overdose on pot, for example.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
You can't. I mean, I've tried and you can't.
I've known people who've gotten like panic attacks and stuff like that.
Yes, but that's not overdosing. That's just having a bad reaction.
The story here says mushrooms are the safest drug, and that can't be true. Safer than pot?
Well,
no
this
way.
is according to a survey. So this is just people's responses to questions.
What were the questions, I wonder?
Well, like, what drug did you do?
Did you want to kill yourself while you were on this drug?
Well, tell us about your drug experience.
Yeah.
And when you were doing this drug, did you ever go to the hospital while doing it? Or did you ever get hurt or anything like this?
Right.
And, yeah, apparently people who did magic mushrooms reported the lowest frequency of, like, hospital trips and injuries and accidents and things like that.
I did it, like when I would go to, like, Point Reyes, that outside kind of thing, That was always a good idea.
Yeah.
Magic mushrooms with the active ingredient psilocybin do carry risks, though. Users may experience accidental injury, confusion, disorientation, panic attacks. That is true. Negative flashbacks, I guess, among other things.
Wow. So in other words, like my regular life.
I guess, yeah, like
typical
your regular
day
life.
in my life.
479-1080. DM at ksco.com. Where's that story? Oh, I have it right here.
Just like a minute ago.
Murder victims disrespected suspect's Muslim faith.
Boy.
Arrest says. So now this is a story out of Tampa, Florida about a guy.
This is something, all right.
Who started off as a neo-Nazi, right?
Neo-Nazi,
Yes.
right.
I
Started
think
off as a neo-Nazi.
And his roommates were neo-Nazis.
Oh, were they?
Yes. They're all neo-Nazis. He converts to Islam.
Yes, and that's probably not a good combination.
So he converts to Islam, and he kills his roommates, who are still skinheads.
They disrespected his Muslim faith.
They disrespected his Muslim faith.
Yes.
This is...
Okay, so now he goes and robs a store, right?
He did?
Yeah, he goes and robs a store.
I didn't realize that.
The cops show up, and he says, hey, over there, check out my apartment. Go see what you find.
So he's really stupid on top of everything.
No, he's not stupid. He just tells the cops, hey, go check out over there.
Sounds
what's
like
in
he's
there.
got a screw loose.
Yeah.
So he goes in there, and the cops are like, what the hell? And the guy told me,
they
they
disrespected my faith. They tried to draw
so
a
now
picture of
let's
Muhammad.
talk about this. Let's talk about this a little bit, because I wanted to I was actually doing some research on this. I just didn't have enough time today. What drives a person to join a radical? What causes a person to become radicalized, brainwashed? I mean, how do you do that? This guy who bombed the concert, the Ariana Grande concert over in Manchester. He was, he came over here with his parents from some country.
Yeah, he was born here. His parents came over.
Not here, over in,
Yeah,
in
Britain,
England, right?
yeah.
But yeah, he came over here. His parents came over there, had him there. So
From
he was
Libya.
naturally born. Libya, I think, is where they were from. In any case.
Boy, did you see that his brother knew like all the details of his plot?
No.
And didn't do anything to stop him.
I
or
guess not.
Probably actually talked him into it. Because someone
Well,
does.
they said-
Nobody does this on their own.
Right.
You got to be talked to it. Somebody's got to say, "Do you really believe?"
I think
Who
this
does
guy
that?
murdered his roommates on his own.
Yeah.
This guy did, yeah, okay, but this is what this is what I want to talk about. This is going to work into the bigger picture. Who are these guys? I mean, who brainwashes them? What do you say? How do you know when you got the right guy? I mean, it seems like it is. To me, it's unbelievable. To me, it is unbelievable that you are going to build this army out of these people that you're going to brainwash them into blowing themselves up. That's nuts. That's impossible. You can't do that. Who are these people that are getting brainwashed? Is it people like this guy, who obviously has stability issues? I mean, he was a skinhead, neo-Nazi, and then he converts to Islam. I mean, they're both extremes on one side or the other. This guy right here is a nutcase.
Well, I think sort of the funny thing is there are some issues that I think neo-Nazis and radical Islamists would agree on.
Jews.
Yeah, for one.
And that's the first one that pops to mind. Any other ones? I mean...
well, I mean, in terms
is that ground enough common for him to
no
to transverse those?
Well,
those
I think
ideologies?
obviously this guy is probably a troubled young man. I mean,
Well, yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
he probably doesn't have very much guidance, I would say, and he's looking for answers. And he finds these groups that probably promise him that they have the answers to the questions to these that are sort of burning him.
That's what I'm asking. I mean, who the hell?
If you don't have a sense of yourself, then you can be taken over.
I don't believe that. I don't
believe
that.
Look at all the people like
every
the Jim
cult
Jones.
ever.
I know.
Look
I
at
know.
every cult ever.
What more evidence do I need? Right. I mean,
Right.
it's right there. I mean,
Right.
you can see it happening over and
It
over
can't
again.
happen to you, but it happens to people. Couldn't happen to me.
Unfreaking believable. It's wow, man. I can't believe. And that's I don't know if you heard me yesterday. That's the problem I have with religion, and just wow, man. Who is following who is following this? I mean, what mentality? What is the mentality of the person that's following
That's
these
a searcher,
leaders?
a person who needs meaning.
Wow, man, you must be just pathetic. I don't know another word for it. Pathetic to go looking for answers from somebody like this guy who's going to tell you to strap bombs to yourself and go kill a bunch of kids. You are pathetic.
Well, look, Dave.
It's just
okay, let's be
unbelievable to me.
honest.
I
They
can't
don't-
believe it.
That's not their opening pitch.
Right, I understand
Doesn't
that.
start there.
I understand
Yeah.
that, dude. I understand that, but still, I mean, at what point do you go to? Well, you remember, hey, yesterday we were talking about Islam being. Well, today we're going to talk about building bombs. I mean, how do
I
you make
think-
that transition, and how do you not see it coming?
This isn't a
incredible,
perfect comparison, but it's sort of like Scientology, and I think a lot of people.
But they're not blowing people up.
No, and that's why I said it's not a very good comparison.
You
It's not a
present
comparison.
yourself as someone say who's frustrated. Why, look what they're doing to us. We have to do more. And then someone who wants to use you says, "Yes, we do have to do more." What are you willing to do?
I think if you look at the testimony of people who have been in Scientology and then they've gotten out of it, really where people get to this point where they're willing to do things that they know are wrong,
right?
Is
to fit
when
in, to belong.
Yeah, and when they get so deep in, and when it's almost like they can't back out at this point
It's the
because
only
so
life
much
they
of their
know.
life is based around this group that they're a part of, and if they were to just abandon that, turn their back on all
They'd
of
have
it, they
nothing.
would lose this huge part of their life that they've relied on this group for meaning for so long.
Those people are pathetic. Okay, I mean that could be
Yes,
true, and
yes.
even if that is true, that you people out there, those people out there are pathetic.
Look, there's a lot of people who are pathetic, who aren't that bright, who are racist. I mean, there's things wrong with people. Us monkeys are flawed individuals. Our brains are capable of great things and horrible things.
Because
that's who we are.
The guy who went over there and bombed the Ariana Grande concert, he went and was radicalized by somebody. If his dad had these plans and his brother knew, maybe there's radicalization going on in the family as well. The official story, though, is that he went somewhere, was radicalized, and I can't believe that there's actually some people out there. There's a whole bunch of guys out there who are good at doing this. Who are good at talking people into becoming suicide bombers.
Dude,
How
I mean,
do you do that?
Look at the Nazis, for example. That's an entire country almost that were almost brainwashed into
But
this.
I think that
sick,
weren't they
twisted-
tricked? Wasn't the country for the most part, in the larger part of the country.
There's a lot of debate.
Weren't they kind of tricked into not knowing stuff like that, like the concentration camps that upset a lot of them? So they were kind of.
That's a big question. There's a lot of debate. Some historians will say that a lot of the German population knew about it, or about the concentration camps, whereas other people will say no, that most Germans were unaware of the concentration camps. What's true
Which
is
seems more likely to you?
Well, if you look at German history, they wrote laws discriminating against Jews. I mean, before they put Jews in concentration
but that's
camps,
different from killing
they
them,
put
though.
Jews into ghettos and things like that.
Right.
So the majority of the German
they all
population,
went along with that, so-
Yeah, they accepted discrimination against Jews.
They might not have known about the final solution entirely.
Right. That's what I'm asking about. Because we went along with concentration camps too, if you want to.
And
that's another good example of.
But we didn't go along with killing. We didn't go
Thank
along
God.
with killing them and killing these Japanese prisoners. We didn't go doing that kind of stuff.
Who knows what we might have done though if the Japan had started
I'm just
to
saying,
win.
you,
Or maybe
you can
we
look
did
at,
and it was just hidden
You can
from
look
us.
at the Germans and Nazism, and that's an example of an entire culture that was sort of brainwashed.
Well, they were made to suffer so in the World War I settlement.
Yeah, that's
they
also a
were
big
really
part of it.
Treated poorly, and they were angry
So
at everybody.
it's discontentment.
Yes.
Mixed with what?
Jealousy.
And jealousy and hatred.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah, it's easy.
Well, humans are just.
We're easy to propagandize.
Yeah.
I bet you
Incredible.
Hillary and Bill didn't kill 56 people. But a lot of people around here believe that. Propaganda. It's powerful.
It is very, very powerful.
I'd like to think I was a good propagandist, but I haven't been able to change anybody's mind.
Well, if you look at if you look at like Mein Kampf or whatever, Hitler talks about propaganda, and what he says the essence of propaganda is playing to people's emotions.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't make.
Look how Trump got elected.
Yeah,
that was totally an emotional appeal. There was no intellect involved. It was, things are bad. Tear down politics. They're no good. It's completely
there's
an
scary
emotional
things coming
response.
to get us.
You're losing your white power.
He didn't say that.
Watch out for the brown people.
He didn't say that.
Oh, that was someone else said
Some
that.
people interpreted it that way, and lots of people did.
Yeah,
But he didn't actually say that.
That's right. He did.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. He did not say that.
Thank you. Russian bishop accepts SUV because it's what Jesus would have done.
I've often thought that.
Let's see. This guy is tooling around in a new Land Cruiser that he was given.
$100,000 car.
$106,000. Yeah. A rep from the Archdiocese says Jesus Christ himself wore expensive clothes gifted to him, shall we say.
Oh, really? He knows
by people
that.
who celebrated him.
That's right. This is, the ugliest thing around is this prosperity churches that just say, give me your money and you'll get it back tenfold. And then the preacher lives in a $36,000 house with, Rolls Royces. That's ugly to me.
Do you think there's all kinds of things we could be doing to solve the housing crisis? Do you think one of them would be tell people stop leaving your property to churches and leave it to maybe your fellow citizens?
No kidding. Well, when you get old and you get ready to die, you're trying to buy your way into heaven for those crazy old ladies out there.
To be fair,
you know who I mean.
There's a lot of churches out there. There are a lot of churches out there that help with the homeless communities.
No, sure, but none of them are giving people a house. I mean, who am I just?
Oh, some of them might.
I don't
be.
know what the hell they're doing. I'm sitting here behind a microphone doing nothing.
Yeah,
and
another
people
thing
out there doing real work.
Another thing that churches do is they do missionary work in other countries.
Right.
The whole thing disrespected my religion. I got to go back to that. That's just crazy. Look, folks, I disrespect all your religions, and guess what? You're still okay. You still have your religion. You can still believe what you like. Mm-hmm. My disrespect for your religion, that doesn't hurt you at all. And if you think that I should be killed because I disrespect your religion, well, then I disrespect your religion 100 times more than that. If you think that somebody draws a picture of your God or your prophet that they should die, you're a sick puppy. And you deserve disrespect.
But they're not sick, though, right? I mean, because you can't call... How many billions Muslims are there?
I can. If you well, first
you
of all,
can
they
call
don't
them
all
that.
believe that.
You can call them. I can call them whatever I want.
All
but
the Muslims don't believe that if we draw a picture of Muhammad, we should be killed.
Yeah, that's a.
Are you sure? Well, they don't mind. But don't they believe that it's blasphemous?
A lot of them don't mind.
Do you really think that a lot of them believe that you should be killed for that?
No. But I'm saying they do believe it's blasphemous, though, right?
Yes,
that's
yes,
nuts.
and they probably wouldn't do it themselves.
Is that nuts, though? To
That's
you?
nuts.
Okay, so
the whole idea of blasphemy is a joke.
So you're telling me that all those Muslims are crazy?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm telling you, all religions.
I'm telling you
no,
that can't possibly be.
Look, let's blow it up though. all Christians are crazy, all Jews are
Right,
crazy.
and that
religions
can't possibly be. Number
are
one, because you're not a
crazy.
doctor, and number two, it is almost statistically impossible, I would think, for that many people to be quote unquote crazy.
No, it's not. Think
You know
about
what's
it.
more likely?
Everybody's crazy
He's
or
crazy.
nobody's crazy. Yeah, I'm crazy.
I just want to point out while we're on
Certify that.
the subject of religions, we were talking about headscarves the other day, right?
Yes, yes.
And if Ivanka and Melania Trump should have worn headscarves when they went to visit Saudi Arabia.
But when they went to the church?
Yes, that's exactly what I
I'm
was
looking
gonna
at a
point
picture
out.
right here.
Yes, when they
Wow.
went to the Vatican today, they felt that it was proper to wear headscarves.
Well, listen, if I had to judge and how much respect I have for I'd have no problem with them doing that. I have no problem with them doing the headdress in either country.
Right. But it's interesting they didn't show respect to the one country.
Yeah, it's
and
interesting,
chose-
and I don't have a problem with that at all.
I
don't have a
understand
problem.
Trump loved the Pope, and he's now going to try to become a peaceful man.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he said he really had a great time with the Pope.
The Pope told him, "Good luck."
You know,
Wait. A peaceful
Good
man,
luck.
as in, what was Trump before?
a warmonger.
He'd never
He
been
wanted to
in
bomb
war. He'd never been to war.
So-and-so. Right. He personally likes to send
Exactly.
But he wants to be a leader who can send other people to war.
Oh, don't most of our leaders do that?
Yeah.
Obama had never been to war
Yeah,
either.
that's
Neither
right.
had Clinton.
That's right.
Neither had Bush.
Right.
Neither had Reagan. Had they?
Bush had.
Yeah,
Well,
Bush
he hasn't been to
Bush
war.
didn't-
He had been to what?
No,
Coast Guard or
Poppy
something?
Bush.
Oh, Poppy Bush.
Poppy Bush was
yeah,
a
he
war
got
hero.
shot down.
Yeah.
He was a war
He's
hero.
a genuine war hero.
But yeah,
the son, no.
I think that was the last veteran that we had. Or right, not veteran, but the last war.
Well, sorry, Bob
combatant.
Dole as a president, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of them served, but I don't think many of them saw action like he did. Kennedy was a war hero for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. PT 109.
479-1080 DM at KSO.com.
I was a war
215-726.
resistor and a war avoider, and I'm happy about that. I mean, it was the right thing for me to do, not to go to Vietnam and to serve in that war that I knew was. We were being abused by people like Richard Nixon, who kept the war going when he shouldn't have. There's at least 20,000 American lives that are on Richard Nixon's head.
What about Johnson?
Well, Johnson didn't.
He started the war.
Yes. Well, actually, the war was going on with Kennedy. Absolutely. Johnson did not start the war.
I've always heard that Kennedy is the one that got it started too.
Yeah. And you know, and does a president start a war or do situations start a war?
Policies that they enact.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Big game hunter is crushed by an elephant that his group killed. You like this story, Billy?
Yeah, I do like this.
I don't see why anyone should like this story.
I kind of don't, but I kind of...
Because if you look at it, a
Shame-
human died and an elephant died. What's there to like about that?
30 elephants have died because of this guy.
Yeah, but also
The point
another
is,
elephant's
no
dead
elephants-
and also another
the
human's
point is
dead.
nobody should lead a bunch of humans to kill another animal unless they're going to eat it because they're starving.
What if all his buddies are going to go kill more elephants to get revenge?
Let's stop killing elephants. They're really fine, amazing animals. They're a matriarchy, which is really great. You know, all the men get driven out of the family when they can't behave properly. Oh, elephants are beautiful.
That's
They-
not cool at all.
Yeah,
so
it
we have to
is.
go sleep on the couch, the elephants?
Yeah, pretty much. They go off, you know, they're like brotherhoods. They hang out.
Oh, that's cool.
You
Yeah, I
know,
could dig
yeah,
that. Right. So the chick elephants stay over there. The guy elephants, we all go.
Well, the chicks and the
go
babies.
down to the bar, watch
the chicks,
football.
The
Yeah,
aunties
right.
and all the babies hang
all the
together.
women and the kids.
The boys go off and have their fun until it's time for sexy time, and then they come back and try to find somebody to have
Dude,
sexy
that is
time
so
with.
cool, man. I love that. That's fantastic. You throw a barbecue in, and I'm there.
And elephants are like, they know when something when they try to help each other out. You know, the aunties raise the other babies, and no, elephants are really great creatures. Better than humans, I would say.
So this guy leads a group out there to go hunting for elephants, and they find an elephant. This elephant just starts going wild and thrashing around.
How dare he just not die quietly?
Everyone's trying. You're right. Everyone's trying to get a shot off at this thing to kill it because it's rampaging. It wants to kill somebody. It falls. They do shoot it. It falls over dead on top of this guy who
love
led
that.
the organization
I
out
like
there in the
that.
first place.
I'm sorry, I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah, I just wish it was the Trump boys that it happened to. They killed an elephant.
Billy,
They killed an
God
elephant.
dang it,
They
man. We
killed
had
an
1
elephant.
minute, and you just had to go out there and do that.
I didn't say Trump till now, did I?
You didn't say no.
Wow, all 3 hours.
No,
And
you
then I
had
had to go
definitely
and
said
spoil
Trump
it.
before.
You did, but you didn't wish anybody death.
Yeah, that's true.
The boys, not him.
Stephen
So-
Colbert will not be fined by the FCC, by the way. Good news for him.
Yeah,
Wait,
no
wait.
kidding.
You want people put to death for hunting animals?
Yes.
Doesn't that make you radical?
Yes. I'm a radical non-Islamic rebel or whatever it is that you want to call me.
A bacon-eating Jew.
And I'll be back here next week with more insanity to share.
479-1080. I'm missing my watch, Billy, so I have no idea what time it is. I'm just going to turn this music up and wish everybody a good evening and thank everybody for listening to KSCO Santa Cruz and
Thank
Flight
you, guys.
1080. Thank you, Billy, for joining us. Ben, we'll see you tomorrow. Billy, we'll see you next week.
Drea will be here tomorrow.
Drea will be here tomorrow. KSCO Santa Cruz, Neil Perlberg is up next.
CBS News, I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office has issued its verdict on the House-passed Republican health care bill. While